We're not actually doing it. I'm
There'll
gonna
be
shut
Twitch.
up.
There'll be Twitch and YouTube. It'll be both. Just a general announcement that we may be after this session. We may be missing Kay for quite some time. Unfortunately, Suds is having a hardware issue with his computer, and we'll need a new one in order to rejoin us again. So for the time being, Kay will be MIA. There will be in-campaign bits where he will be stepping to one side for a while and then returning. But just so everybody is aware from the top of the session. So, are you all sitting comfortably?
Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on. I need to turn my oven off.
Jamie!
Yeah, I have no idea when I'm going to be called away for dinner. It could be like a minute from now. It could be like half an hour.
That's all right.
Probably more towards the latter end, but we'll see.
That's all right. If you need to step away, that's quite all right. Just let us know when you are, just in case somebody tries to RP with you. As usually ends up happening, somebody steps away and it's like, oh, I want to have a word with Romulus. And it's like, Romulus, are you there? 5 minutes later, Harlan comes back. It's like, oh, Romulus has returned.
Oven's off.
Excellent.
I am concerned that the oven was on previously.
I made chicken nuggets and then completely forgot I was meant to turn the oven off.
Ah, the nuggies, the most dangerous of the delicious foodstuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Romulus, can you make us some chicken nuggets at some point? Please.
If you bring me some chicken.
What about a Helgus?
We find the hell.
Well, look, you've got to.
Goose nuggets.
Hate to say it, you've got to bloody find it first.
It comes. I could go home, or I could have forbidden chicken nuggets.
Forbidden nugs.
Maybe that was the real quest you wanted all the time. This is just a quest for food. Right. Okay. Good to see you all. I've been preparing my wizard hat and robes for this session. I imagine you've all been doing the same. At least, I hope so. Last we left off, our party of adventurers, Cat, Kay, Curve, Romulus, and Vinny, had dealt with the skull-banded camp, taking down demons and dwar alike, before returning to Farganuk. Unfortunately, their discovered and primary quarry, Romulus' sister Professor, escaped their clutches through a portal within the floor. For now, however, with the party completing their quest, with the death of Corsair on the consciousness of the party, they arrived back in Farganuk on the cusp of dusk, a day and a half later. Having pushed the village folk, who were otherwise captives, and getting them home sooner rather than later, with little issue, despite the weather getting worse over that time period, the village folk and farmers come rushing out of homes after a short and almost hesitant wait of knowing that you might be dangerous individuals. But after seeing you arrive and release the captives back in, they head back to their homes, and many of them are reunited with their families. As you do arrive, however, releasing the captives back to the rest of the town, a few mercenaries otherwise step up towards you. One of these mercenaries, a large Goliath with grey skin and faint wispy grey hair, steps up, a massive hammer in one hand, and looking over each of you. Alongside them you can see what looks to be a human to one side and a dwarven figure on the other. As they look over you, care to explain what's going on here?
We saved them. We saved them all.
Raise an eyebrow. Save them from the bandits.
Yep.
So they're dealt with then.
Well, we can't provide all the information, but we have saved everyone. Isn't that right, everyone?
They've all run off to their family, but yeah, the party agrees.
We will provide a full confirmation once we've spoken with the appropriate individuals.
Understood. Glad to know this place is safer. You've done
We
a
do
good
our
job.
best. Thank you.
And the Goliath, as always, otherwise nods, looking at the rest of you. Yep. We'll leave you to it then. We'll keep our job up for as long as we're paid. Otherwise nods and looks like these mercenaries begin to go back on patrol. Where do you head?
Do you think the town will give us free stuff?
Hmm.
What's the time?
It is on the cusp of dusk, so you're pushing nightfall quite quickly.
Okay, we should probably head to the mayor's house. Before anyone else tries to claim credit or anything for the like.
Yes, we
before
should-
Rumors start spreading. You mean?
Yes, we should go immediately. That
Fair
is
enough.
it's the only chance we have.
Speaking of going immediately, 1 second.
Well timed.
There's someone that really does need to go to WizCon. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I
Nice.
knew it would happen if I thought it was.
Your initial thoughts were correct. I, of course, am here purely to make terrible jokes.
In under 10 minutes, you have done this.
I thank you. I thank you.
Right.
I'm so proud.
Fine. The next thing you face might just have a few more hit points or increased stats. I will remember this. Add it to my list.
Hey, look, if it's at WizCon,
Stronger. Okay.
everything happen. You know what? Things go weird at WizCon.
Sure.
And that's okay.
That's okay. So, where were you headed again?
Mayor's house.
Mayor's house,
Mayor's house.
immediately, as fast as possible.
Who went there last time?
Me, Romulus, and Kay.
Okay, so Romulus and Kat, if you two would like to both make me survival checks, just to see if you can get your general bearings.
Just joining.
Yes.
Yeah, no worries.
Yes. Are we each in it, or can I give Romulus advantage?
I'll let you choose. Either Romulus can have advantage, or
I'll,
you can just make separate rolls.
I'll take the advantage.
Yeah, I have a
if
+2, so you're probably better.
and I have a +4.
Yeah.
All right. So Romulus,
Have we had any rest since?
Yes. Sorry, you've had your
Since
you've travelled
our
for
last,
1.5 days, so you've all had a long rest, and you've all recuperate, and you will have all recuperated all of your.
Oh,
Nice.
23.
23. Knowing exactly where you're going, the mental map of this, using your, I believe you have the Outlander feat.
I
or
do,
the
I do.
background, Yeah, easily recognizing where you need to go, you quickly and easily head there, beelining it for the manor along the most efficient route, as you all make your way to the outsides of the mayor's manor. The exterior of this place, as for those who have not seen it, which would be Vinny and Curve, as you look upon it, you can see that it is a two-story building. The ground floor and the floor above it, the first floor, a kind of a wrought iron arrow-topped fence running around the perimeter of the area, with what looks to be a tree or two in the front garden, with a single cobblestone pathway leading to the front door. Standing outside of the metal gate are two guards who are currently standing there, and you can see two guards yonder next to the doorway itself.
Are any of these guards the one that we know to speak to?
I will say, I'll say in this instance, yes. You note that the one of the guards who is on with Cat's passive investigation, you otherwise note that one of these guards is indeed the one that you were told to speak to from beforehand.
Is this Kyle or Yuna?
This one is Yuna.
Oh, the Crested Peacock.
Yes.
Haha, very good.
Wait, no.
Right, I'm back.
No, sorry, not Yuna. This one is Kyle. Yuna is the mage. I forgot about that.
Right. Kyle, cool.
Is Kyle attractive?
Oh god.
He has a bit of curly brown hair. Kind of stands there, not regally. He's a bit timid by the looks of it, but he's still a house guard. Has a lantern at his side, a kind of a spear in hand, as he otherwise keeps an eye out, sees you all arriving and notes your arrival, and otherwise greets you with a smile as you approach. And you can see next to him is the not the same guard as before, who was dismissive of his uptake of your information, but another guard who otherwise kind of keeps an eye.
Kyle, we need
Ah.
to speak with our employer.
Yes, of course. Yes, I will let them know. Otherwise
Thank you.
nods and heads in. The other one just kind of looks at Kyle and then looks back at you lot.
Hi.
You're hired by the ward? I
Hmm.
thought he wasn't dealing with mercenaries at the moment.
Well, things need doing. At the end of the day.
Times.
Also, well, I really shouldn't say this, but well, he likes a certain type of mercenary, if you know what I mean.
Romulus
From
is
the
a she.
deception check. No, the ward Lupin is male. The ward is male. The
Oh.
ward is male. The to-be mayor is female.
Oh,
Just
that's
for
the one
clarification.
where. Right.
So perception.
It's an 11, but it's not a bad roll.
The guard looks at you skeptically, like, aha, I see how it is.
I'm look, even if it's just a joke, this is, even if he doesn't believe it, it could become a rumor, and that's all I care about.
Short while later, you watch.
I'm just going to be
as the
flexing a little bit as this is going on.
flexing a bit.
Yeah.
You watch as the front door opens, and you watch as Kyle otherwise steps out the door, and you see a very brightly coloured crested peacock wander out, kind of gracefully stepping forward with what looks to be a kind of a long tail of a cloak and robe as they step up to the gate. You must be the ones that I have been informed to greet with.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
And you must be Yuna?
Indeed.
Ah, hello.
It is a
Please
pleasure.
do come in, and if the ward has too much to say, feel free to ignore him for the time being.
Okay.
Hell
The-
yes.
The guard otherwise kind of looks at Yuna and then kind of looks back at you. Wait, you're not working for the ward?
No.
No, they're not. They're with me. And she turns and walks back towards the house, unlocking the gate and allowing you all through.
Very well. We enter.
Yep.
Heading inside,
So-
you can see what may have once been a lavish household. You can see what looks to be sections of the wall where there are clear markings where a painting may have been. You can see places where statues or vases may have been placed that are now barren and empty. Save for a few houseplants which still grow. A lot of this place has been stripped of whatever riches it may have once had. You can see that there is still a wonderful carpet. It has been dusted down, it has been taken care of, and you can see that up the stairs itself there is still a singular painting that hangs over the rest of what looks to be a very wealthy, kind of maybe mid-50s female human who otherwise kind of sits there regally with both of her hands kind of gracefully placed on one knee, and beside her, standing with a hand on the shoulder, is Penny, as you would recognize her, the mayor's daughter.
To clarify, when you say mayor's daughter, I believe she is
Yes.
technically the mayor, but it
She
is
is-
not because of her age.
Yeah, she's not old enough to become the mayor officially yet,
Mhm.
and her mother has passed away.
The mayor to be. I will do appropriate. I will show an appropriate level of respect to her as a mayor.
Oh,
So
she's
I'm.
not here. You just see the painting up.
Oh, the painting.
No, I like
no,
to.
it's
You do
otherwise,
your
yeah.
respect to the painting.
You do your respect to the painting. All right.
I, like fist to the chest, slight bow and nod, that sort of thing.
Yeah. As you otherwise go up the steps, there is a you otherwise are led. Also, you're led up the central staircase leading to a second floor. As you otherwise arrive on the landing, another figure, tall, kind of grey hair that otherwise wisps down to either side of his ears, a singular, rather thin goatee that only goes down maybe an inch or so from the base of his chin, a set of spectacles pushed up to the bridge of his nose, and a series of ledgers currently being carried under his shoulder. Otherwise wearing what looks to be just a casual regal wear, if you can have such a thing. A nice buttoned-up white shirt, otherwise blooming trousers, and a otherwise long coat on the outside. As he otherwise looks over you all, Yuna, I'm not going to be talking with any individuals today. I appreciate they may have come to deal with this, but, and Yuna otherwise lifts a finger, they have come to see Penny.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'm the one dealing with all of the affairs at the moment. Penny isn't. Penny has recruited these individuals to deal with the bounty, and they have returned on confirmation of dealing with these skull bandits, Lucan, and I am taking them to her to converse. If you wish to intrude, by all means, you're welcome to stand in on the meeting, but don't try to stop me. And most of you having I think Kat's the only one who doesn't really pick this up, is that there is tension between these two. A very much rivalry of power, with Yuna being the wizard who could quite happily snap this guy out of existence, but this guy has political authority, which is the only reason he's still here, it seems.
So no romantic undertones.
No.
I mean, look, let's not like, completely put it out of the picture.
Look, I know
you never know.
An advocate for enemies to lovers, but in this instance, this is
it's enemies to enemies to enemies.
Enemies to enemies to enemies. Yeah.
You're only encouraging me, Chris. I swear they're enemies.
There are plenty of other NPCs out there to advocate this with. Look with Benoit Blanc and you guys.
Sorry, for legal reasons, Blenoir Bonk.
Blenoir Bonk, that is right. Sorry. I forgot that is his true title. Anyway.
I really want to find out his real name. It's quite upsetting.
Detective Inspector Blanc.
Detective Inspector Blanc. So, Yuna otherwise continues walking forward, and doing so. Do you follow?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Following on, you are led along the corridor. Lucan otherwise looking distastefully at Romulus and Cat and Curve as they wander past. Less worried about Vinny, and actually would look quite distastefully at Kay. Vinny, you're the only one who passes as being not a problem here for some reason.
Weirdly enough, I'm actual nobility.
Yeah, out of all of these individuals, Vinny, you're the only one who kind of passes for this, I guess, with the fancy clothing and the air of prestige that you can quite easily give off. The rest of you, give me performance checks actually to upplay your nobility. In Romulus, I know you actually have it, but it's.
Oh no, I fully need to roll for this. Can I don't suppose I can use intimidation at all for this, owing to my size.
I'll allow you to use your strength in place of this for the purposes of your performance. But if
Thank
you
you.
have proficiency in performance, I'll still allow you just to use the strength.
Yeah, so that is +5 then, because I do not have proficiency in performance at all.
So
but that's 18.
Using your rippling muscles to otherwise kind of give off and stand up straight and tall, your horns barely catching the base of a chandelier as you walk under it, as you kind of walk tall, towering over this elven figure, as you otherwise stride past the air of nobility as you just gracefully move forward. Meanwhile, Curve, what did you get? Curve?
Curve's dead.
Curve exploded.
What?
Right, Mike's been being a bit
Hello?
weird.
Yep. Hi. A 7. So as she walks by, she's wiping her nose on her sleeve.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And Cat.
Kat isn't trying to be noble. She's just following behind Una, mentioning how pretty her tail feathers look and everything like
She's
that.
just ignoring Lucan.
Exactly,
Okay.
and she's
Yeah.
very excited to go and tell Penny that we succeeded and her people are safe.
Okay. Heading through into a otherwise heading past Lucan and into a chamber beyond. Una otherwise knocks on the door for a moment, and you notice a handmaid otherwise steps up, opens the door, and otherwise welcomes Una in. As the rest of you all enter into what looks to be a just very humble sitting area. Again, you can see that there are areas where there may have once been art or decor, things that have since disappeared and taken away. You note that Penny has otherwise kind of sat on the sofa, and she, I will say, with the passive perception of most of you and passive investigation of you, Cat, you note that she tucks a small ledger to one side, as if doing something that she's not supposed to be. As she otherwise kind of tucks a book to one side next to her, looking up and seeing Una kind of with a smile, and as Cat, you being the next one to walk in, sees you and almost kind of with a beaming smile looks up and goes, "Good news then?" To
Yes.
all of you as you step in.
Quite good news.
Excellent. Well then it's all sorted then. Oh,
We-
of course. And as Lucan otherwise steps in, goes from this not necessarily an air of immaturity, but an air of excitement straight to an air of professionalism as Lucan otherwise enters. As she otherwise goes, Una, would you be able to verify their accounts for us? And Una otherwise bows, and you watch as from what looks to be a flask at her side, otherwise with a single motion pulls out what looks to be just this almost reflective water in a way. You can still see through it, but at the correct angle you note that the entire thing is almost like a reflective sheet of glass. As she lifts it up and spirals it into a circular shape, you note the markings of magic beginning to flow from her fingers, as you note the mirror itself begins to show and portray the bandit camp. You can see the entire place abandoned. The signs of sludge and ash now left behind, no bandits in sight. You can see what may have once been weapons discarded on the ground, tents that have been left and scattered to the wind with the rain battering them, with the exception of an area of dry-ish ground where a tent may have once stood.
Yeah.
And as from what you can tell, some form of divination magic begins to push forward into the cave, you can see spikes that have still got remnants of blood scattered across them. You can see beyond, as it moves further and within, what looks to be the rock itself has begun to crack, and the glow from below has diminished entirely. You see what looks to be as you would have done it, the freshly dug and placed Corsair within the grave here, as the area is lifeless. As Una otherwise pulls the spell back for a moment before pulling the water and shaping it back into the flask at her side, corking it once again. This doesn't prove that they've dealt with them. They could be outside of the camp. We don't know for certain. We had an attack less than a day ago. How do we know for certain that these individuals have upheld their end of the bargain and dealt with these bandits?
Well,
You can go and
truth
check.
magic exists. You can check, yeah.
Una
You have-
always nods.
I mean-
can indeed.
Clearly, we have an incredibly capable and powerful wizard here. I'm certain you can verify anything.
I can. Otherwise, kind of glares daggers at Lucan.
Yeah.
Before pulling out what you would recognize as a quill that you have seen.
Yes,
seen before.
yes,
As
yes.
she places a sheet of paper on the surface of the copy table, places the quill on it into it immediately sticking upright. Do any of you resist the detect lies,
No.
detect thoughts?
No, not resisting a damn
No.
thing.
Okay. And she asks directly to you. A question to all of you. Have you completed your task of defeating
Yes.
the Skull Bandits and clearing the camp?
Yes.
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 There's
Yes.
otherwise scribing and writing, and it is all confirmed to be true. Lucan then says, and is their leader dead?
Let us say their leader is no longer with us.
Roll me a deception check with advantage, I say, because you'll have the aid of your companions here.
And I'm going to add on, because this is very true, and believed dead.
Yeah, that'll be alright. So this I'll say
We-
this
we
is still
did-
with advantage. This is still against a DC because it will underline it if it feels there is uncertainty.
Mhm.
But yeah,
With advantage, you say?
yes, with advantage.
I'm going to need it. The 13.
The quill otherwise does write the word, and as you say, believed dead, it underlines it with kind of a dot at the end, which Lucan otherwise looks at you. So she isn't dead.
Well,
Luna immediately goes, actually, that means that they aren't certain.
Mm.
I imagine this means that for better or for worse, you weren't able to retrieve or identify a body after the act?
no, unable to identify a body.
Mm.
But-
it took a bit of a tumble.
Mm.
Into fire.
Hard to
The-
tell after that.
The quill otherwise writes it and continues to do so, continuing to do so, and completing it as a truthful sentence.
Lucan's just there like, fuck.
You go ahead and make me an insight check.
Oh, hell yeah. I have advantage on these specifically
Yeah.
so I can call out this bullshit. Oh, it's only a 17.
17? Okay. Looking at Lucan, he is not necessarily visibly frustrated, but he is withholding a frustrated energy to him. With that insight, however, you pick up that there is almost like there's more he wants to ask, but knows that it's futile.
Hey,
Well
hey, hey.
then, I suppose the agreed upon bounty of 5,000 will do. At which point, clears her throat. Actually, the bounty is 25,000 for the completion of the job. Lucan turns, kind of drastically looking at Penny in a very much an act of you would speak to your carer that way or your parent that way.
Oh.
As Penny otherwise looks at the rest of them. They were all promised 25,000 on completion of the job, Lucan, and I believe with the recent funds that we have collected via your need for stabilizing our house that we have enough for this, and given we will no longer need to expend our expenses on getting food or drink outsourced from your exterior sources, it would mean that we are quite happy to otherwise pay these individuals. Looking at the rest of you. Let's see. Okay. Lucan, otherwise, from what you can tell, holds his own. Very good. I'll see to it that the money is handled and dealt with then. And looks towards the rest of you and steps away and out of the room. The door is closed behind, and Penny breathes a visible sigh of relief.
You did good.
You handled yourself
Thank
pretty
you.
well.
Thank you. Una? Una otherwise nods. I'll make sure that they make it to WizardCon was where you wanted to head tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I will make sure to have you all sent there tomorrow.
Thank you.
In the meantime, feel free to camp out in the guest room if you would like. It is still furnished with a bed and a wash basin. There are plenty of rooms available, so you're welcome to take one if you wish to rest and sleep for the night here, or if you have a place of your own you wish to return to, then by all means.
I wouldn't say no to a roof, guys.
I wouldn't say no to sleep in a room. It'd be nice.
I think
Yeah,
it would.
well then.
To me.
She otherwise looks behind you, and the handmaid who was there originally kind of nods and scurries out of the room before closing the door behind. So
By the
then, what was
way-
it like? Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to ask. I hope it's not too presumptuous of a question, but what's the deal with money bags?
Penny otherwise draws her kind of her lips to a line, a moment of hesitation and consideration in there. He is my ward. He's been taking care of me since my mother's untimely demise, and well, with the need for getting food and water from exterior sources, given our usual trade routes were blocked by these bandits, we've had, well, the people haven't been able to afford the food that's been coming in. So we've been selling things to make up for the cost.
You're better than most authority then.
I don't want to, these people are who I grew up with, and my mother took care of them, and I will take care of them after her. I just wish I could do more.
I think you're doing plenty.
Thank you. Una otherwise joins you in that nod for a moment. Well, if it's all the same with you, if you would like your rest, then please do. If you have any further questions, you're welcome to ask. And Penny, you need to get your rest too as well. Penny otherwise nods her head. I guess enjoy yourself tomorrow. But gives you all a smile.
Do make sure to check on the individuals we brought back. I assume we would have gotten their names, so I'll just make sure
Yes.
we've got records of who we brought back and
Yeah.
whether we think they need any additional support.
Yeah. Una otherwise looks through the list and goes, I can make sure that there are supplies and medical attention sent to help with these individuals. Thank you, though. You have done a service.
That's no problem.
Happy to
Yeah,
help.
people died.
It was our pleasure, really.
Of course. Well then, Penny, let's get you to bed. And the rest of you should probably get some rest, some well-earned rest as well.
Have a lovely night.
Okay. What do you all do? Go to bed? You going to the pub to party? What are you doing?
I think we've got a lot of books to read through.
Well, we've got the satchels we need to go through and stuff like that, so probably just head
Yeah.
to the room and...
That is true. We do have loot to.
Oh, I will say, Cat, you're not allowed to do any scary magic shit until we're not in... Until we've A, got the money, and B, not in this nice person's house.
I'm not going to cast any magic in here. Not all my magic is scary.
I'm just remember the last time we had a weird, scary book for you to read?
Oh, maybe I won't read any books then.
Yeah. Vinny, do you want Curve? Do you want to help me read this? What was that weird book you picked up? Grimoire? Grimoire?
Did I pick up a book?
I thought someone picked up
I think
I
Um,
picked up a book.
Vinny picked up a book.
Penny picked up a book, 2 bags, and was there anything else you picked up?
There was a letter in a scroll, been opened,
Oh yes, sorry, a scroll. Yeah, sorry, yeah, letter.
and
the
there
book,
was
and the 2 bags.
some amount of ink as well. I think it was just the one pot.
Yes, it was just the 1 pot of ink, so that will be 50 GP of ink for Cat to have.
Is it
So, Cat, if you
magical?
want to add that to... no, not
It's
magical.
just normal matter, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I've got 2 lots of different inks here.
Okay, yeah, this is non-magical.
Okay, non-magical, so I've got 100 GP of that now. Okay. Very good.
Okay,
Nice.
so you're all gathering up and working on these, seeing what's in them.
Indeed. Also, I will be looking through the 12 books I have just been carrying.
I don't even remember where you've got them from, so
They were gotten from either the sewers or from the haunted mansion. I can't remember which.
I think anything that was in the haunted mansion disappeared afterwards. with
Then
the
it would-
exception of a few exempt items.
Then it would
you
probably
were
be
in the
from-
sewers.
He took an entire flipping bookshelf from the sewer.
I did, yes. That is
Yeah,
where
so
they're
it's
from.
probably from the book. It's probably from the sewer then. So most of these books, as you begin to look through them, are written in Elvish, which doesn't help.
Okay, who speaks Elvish?
I can cast comprehend languages. I can take a look.
yes, you
Okay,
can.
then those are for you.
Okay, the books will take time to go through, but for the sake of brevity on them, most of them are to do with either kind of basic alchemy and reminders. Others are notes on the distillation process. Others are ledgers to do with outgoings and ingoings between the leaf cutter members.
So the ledgers will be actually incredibly useful for any law enforcement that are still
Yeah,
working on that.
that's very true.
Mm.
But
So we
depending
probably
on-
should have left them there.
Yeah.
But
Oh well.
at the end of the day,
We'll
you've got
we'll
them,
hand them over to
and-
Blenoir Bonk next time we see him.
Mm.
Yeah, you can do.
More
Just
importantly-
remember that- I was just going to say, just remember that you are also working with the leaf cutters in the form of the taskmaster in order to.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Mm.
So grassing him up might not go too well.
Well, do you think giving these back would provide us any material benefit?
Who can say? We'll have to find out.
I think I'll go with the quite true statement of we prevented these from being seen by the authorities, which is again an objectively true statement.
But yes, so looking through these things, looking through one of the bags, which is the one that's more heavier, it is a bag of gemstones. Within, and otherwise having a look over them and just having a general gauge of how much these things cost, either with Vinny or Kat having more of an eye for components. You note that there is a what looks to be about 1,600 GP's worth of gemstones in here of different sizes and cuts and styles. But notably, there are 4 separate gemstones that are more notable than the others. One is a diamond worth 500 GP.
Useful.
And then another 3 which look like they are gemstones, but you note that they have very visible cracks of what looks like magic running through them. One is an emerald, another an onyx, and the last one a diamond.
Question, Chris. Do any of these work for the Omnistone? Because I know that diamond, onyx, and topaz, did you say, and quartz actually are all emerald, diamond, and onyx are all included, and quartz are included in the relevant elementy things.
The gemstones in question have to be worth at least 1,000 GP.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 that you note, however, I'll say, you and somebody else you can make an Arcana check to identify what these gemstones might be. and if they might be of use for you. But
Hmm.
I can do an Arcana check. But
I would
failing
appreciate that.
I 100% can use these.
yeah, so both of you go ahead and make Arcana checks then, please. I'll just say Romulus go ahead and make one, and Cat make one.
Yeah, mine will be very helpful.
I'll find out.
It is. Oh, what's my intelligence? Is that +1? Yeah, it's a 12.
I got 14.
Well, 14. Looking at these aren't gemstones like you've seen before. Cat being more magically minded and trained in Arcana helps with this in the sense that you get the general understanding that these are imbued gemstones, meaning that they have an essence within them. The essence doesn't necessarily correlate to the color, and the element that will be inside of it will have been by whoever imbued these. Changing the essence is easy enough with the right enchantment tools and a little bit of time. It's quite alright and easy to do. But for the time being, you don't know what's in there. The color of the veins and the cracks seems to be red, so you hazard a guess it's most likely fire that's inside of these gemstones. But there are 3 of different colors, and for the purposes of you, Romulus, keeping an eye out for these sorts of things, if they were imbued with different elements, they could also be used potentially. With these, because of the way the Omni Stone is created, the these would function for making a lesser Omni Stone. For making a greater.
I
or a
need to
true
get
one,
the
they would
conflux
need to-
ring. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd need to go. They need to be tuned and have the energy absorbed from the plane of the elements itself. So these would only function for the lesser ones as opposed to greater and true, but still worth noting.
That's fair. That's fair.
Also, we have got the blood crystals.
This is true. That does make things a lot easier. Do you know how much in GP terms we have?
What,
You
blood
have how many
crystals?
crystals?
8 in total.
8.
8?
Well, 7 full ones and an 8 that was turned into smaller chunks, but are still.
No, it was fair. I was just.
Oh
Oh,
right,
that
yes,
was
you
sorry,
didn't.
that-
You that was
Yeah,
retconned. Yes.
That was retconned after I misunderstood what was going on. Yeah. Going through and otherwise having a think, I'll say make an intelligence check. I'll say Vinny and Cat make this because you've got more rings with auction houses and understanding how this sort of stuff might sell, whereas with Cat you have the natural intelligence of knowing how much these things might be worth given their magical value.
16.
And this is just a flat intelligence check here.
Please be a lot.
I got 16.
How intelligent's Vinny?
That is a 17.
Okay.
Because Jack of all trades still applies.
Yep. So that keeps you on the plus 0. The two
Wait,
of you
I'm
have
sorry.
a
Do you
look
have
at these.
minus intelligence?
Yeah.
Oh God, you really are. You're doing the Sasha.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need intelligence. You can still be intelligent, but have a low intelligence score.
I know. I'm
Hey,
just saying, like, it's.
Look at the quote that happened not too long ago, which was me
Yeah.
saying I may have a high intelligence character, but I'm not smart.
This is.
Yeah,
fair,
I
this is great.
studied at the School of Hard Knocks. You see,
Odd
Listen,
knocks.
and besides, don't impugn my academic achievements. I wrote Lenny Dies in the front cover of more books than anyone else at school. You cannot take that away from me.
So, between your 2 intelligence checks, you gather that the cost of these gemstones, or the cost of the blood crystals, to sell them on the open market would be impossible.
For obvious.
Bloodstone or blood crystals are typically a contraband that is otherwise taken and destroyed in most cases. Looking over the crystal that you have here, the crystals that you have here, each of these aren't pure like some other ones that you've seen, but they are very well grown. Looking at them, with the fact that you have 8, I'd probably say you have about 6,000 to 8,000 GPs worth of crystal here.
I need 2,500. I believe, Chris, that is accurate.
For blood crystal?
For the flakes of blood crystal, I believe this was related to the violet crysteel.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Uh, But I
Yes,
believe
Violet Crystal.
2,500.
Yeah, 2,500. Oh no, the Violet Crystal was what you needed the 2,500 for. You then needed 1,000 GP of quartz and flakes of blood crystal. So you would need probably about 100 GP's worth at most.
Oh, damn, that's useful to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
I was-
hurt to have more, but
As you're otherwise having this discussion, Vinny, you look in the other bag and find opening the other bag that's much smaller. It is a fine red sand like powder. And looking over it, and given the discussion we've just had, it is fine powdered flakes of blood crystal. Worth about 1,600 GP, you guess, by the amount that's in, or 1,200 GP, sorry, if you can
Hot.
find the right buyer.
I mean, it's we know someone who is definitely involved with stuff and we could probably sell this to. But also, it may be worth hanging on to this stuff for magic-y shite. Because
blood crystal, for the purposes of what it does, it is a pure component. You can substitute any consumed material for blood crystal.
yeah, that's
So
useful.
right now you have, if you finely powdered all of it, you'd have 9,200 GP's worth of ground up diamond dust if you needed it for greater restorations, lesser restorations, and reviving and stuff. You would have, with the blood crystals, you'd be able to use them for pretty much anything. The problem is getting them to chunks that you can viably use that aren't going to diminish the value of them, thus losing power by basically trying to snap it as opposed to cut it.
That's fair.
It's
That's
going to
fair.
be the difficult part. So a lot of this is potential money that you don't quite have access to just yet. And I believe you also had the letter and the book.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would like to look over those?
I'm not smart. It's not going to be me.
No, sure. What language is it in?
The letter? Common.
Either.
The common is, or the letter is in common, and the book is a spell book.
Oh, cool. I'm having a look in the spell book.
Okay. It's not your typical spell book, you know, as you otherwise begin to look through it. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana check. That's 12.
12. Looking through this, you can't make out any of the spells. They're there, you just can't seem to understand what spells they're pertaining to. These aren't spells that you don't know either. It's a matter of, like, you think you know, and then your perception and your understanding of the glyphs before you change.
What is this? How does this even make sense?
I'm not sure.
The tome itself is of what looks to be a deep kind of red patchy leather, otherwise stitched together with thin brown threads holding the outer covering together, and the paper itself is quite kind of thin, almost see-through.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to take my time and see if I can work.
And who was going to look at the letter?
I'll give it a look while Cat's doing this.
Okay. Why can I not see you on a list of friends? Why can I not see you? There you are. There you go. Yeah. The letter itself is what looks to be as it's otherwise rolled up. You, as Vinny unravels it and has a look at it. It's partially crumpled. It's not in the best state. But you begin to read through it, Vinny. And Kat, I will say that you, with combination with Kayla, you know, the spellbook is magical.
Okay.
I mean, it's a spell book, isn't it?
Spellbooks aren't traditionally magical on their own. Good
Oh,
point, though. But
okay.
spellbooks aren't traditionally magical on their own.
Okay, I'm going to. I mean, we've got a little bit of time. I'm going to spend 10 minutes to ritual cast detect magic. See if I can work
Okay.
this out.
Okay. Detecting magic, it is indeed magical.
Okay.
The school of magic that comes off of it, let me quickly double check. I believe it is. I was wrong. It is evocation.
Okay, does it look like it's kind of protecting the book, making it hard to read, or is it just...
You can't... With the Arcana roll you previously made, it's hard to tell. The book hasn't rejected you yet, but there's something about it that you can't quite pick up on.
Okay, maybe I need to spend some time to... What's the time?
I'd probably say about 9 o'clock.
Okay,
9 PM.
I'm gonna spend a little bit of time with this book and try and work it out before going to bed.
Okay.
I will say, can't you cast Identify?
Oh yeah, I can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but don't I? Oh no, I can't. It's because I can ritual cast it. Yes.
You can ritually cast it without needing to prepare it as a wizard. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've cast literally next to all of my spells. I put ritual. And then next to identify, I just put R. So I didn't think about it. Okay, I'm just going to ritual cast, then identify on it. Alrighty.
There you go. That's what you learn.
Okay. I need another monitor.
You already have like 3.
Yeah, no, I need a 4th just for Discord.
Just for Discord. Have 1 monitor per tab on your browser.
Oh no.
It's a terrible idea. I know how many tabs you have on your browser. So, while Cat's otherwise ritually casting Identify, is there anything else you wish to do?
Chris, you said there's a symbol on this letter. What kind of symbol is it?
Let me draw it for you. Hopefully I draw this correctly. It's been quite some time since I've actually drawn it, but I'll do my best.
Just a oh.
Oh.
It's a bow tie.
Then it needs to go. Hold on. It's going to look rougher than it should, but oh well.
Oh, Pictionary. Right.
This Burns moustache.
You've not seen this symbol before, any of you.
I assume that is intended to be a C, right?
No, it goes behind it. In my actual design, I think it goes in front of it, but I've lost the napkin I drew it on.
Can you like describe what I'm seeing here?
It's what looks to be like a scroll with some form of something in almost like a nearly connected O or circle running over the top of it, not behind it like I've drawn it. But the back of it seems to be either ridged or almost wavy. Yeah, this isn't a symbol any of you recognize.
Well, whoever they are, they were studying whatever it was your sister was working on. I assume the blood crystals?
Well, she was clearly doing something related to demons. And whatever vile sort of biological necromancy that was going on with those butchers. I would assume there's some connection there.
These blood crystals seem to be rearing up a lot at the moment, and people seem to be researching them. Do you reckon these were also possibly connected to whoever was leading the Cyclops?
My
They
sister didn't
mentioned
sound
something
like the
about
person that was doing that, did they?
I don't think it was explicitly mentioned, but you're not sure.
Trying to remember what we found out about their leader. 'Cause they did
That's
mention
Scary,
something like that.
scary lady in a red dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you've seen what Professor wears. She wears heavy armor and is very identifiable with the skull shape on her, or the skull pattern on her face.
But I'll point to the symbol. Possible benefactor?
It's possible.
Let me. The scholars found your work acceptable and are willing to continue to fund you in your endeavours. However, I wish for further input of your work to be sent to us. We have found many interesting properties in what you have sent us and wish to examine more samples when available. Additionally, we would like to introduce you to one of our associates when you have the time away from your project. There's no name, unfortunately.
Perhaps the O could be the order of something, like the order of. But who knows?
No, it's possible.
It's very peculiar.
I proceed to eat the letter. I'm kidding.
Okay. You no longer have the contents, so anyhow, I'll delete that message.
What did I just say? I said I'm joking.
Dear me.
So, are you heading to bed?
How long? What time is it roughly?
About 9 p.m. 9 p.m., 9:15, when Cat finishes casting the Identify spell, which I'll say has gone off now.
I'm just right. Obviously we talked about a lot previously, but I think I ought to let you know what names I've managed to uncover for my family members that we might need to look out for. Is that all right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I haven't got all of their full names. Sometimes it's just a name and that's it. There is Violet. She's a Minotaur like me. She's wealthy. She's a Forge cleric. She may be unkillable.
Ugh.
I know.
They're unkillable.
Clerics.
There is Dawn, who seems to be obsessed with defensive maneuvers and fortifications. There is...
To your question there, Rebecca. Unkillable because she may or may not be
What's a polite word?
What's a polite word for Sashifying an NPC?
Fucking Forge clerics.
Yeah, Forge clerics are busted when you play them correctly, and Sasha was Harlan's character from campaign 1, and refused to die.
Despite a lot of effort.
It's okay. So we can take out Violet's team because she won't heal them.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. I'm about to. I'm gonna. Oh, I've never wanted to strangle an orphan more. Right. So there's Jareth Carr. He seems polite but very speedy. There's Morrigan Arvish, a plague knight of some considerable renown, it seems. And I have something of a tentative agreement with Morrigan to I not necessarily assist each other, but not necessarily harm each other, so long as we don't have 3 or more of the pieces. There's Sani Wavebreaker, a Minotaur with wings.
Pardon,
Wow.
what?
Yes, he's a Minotaur with wings.
Vinny, could you
Mm-hmm.
give me a history check real quick?
Of course.
Please tell me you've met my brother.
Trying to remember. 10.
Minotaur with wings is very notable. You don't remember if there are any Minotaurs with wings? Same with the rest of these names. These are all names that you aren't familiar with. One of the names that was on here you may have heard of, but I won't say which.
There's Havarion Lupin. I don't believe I had much close contact with him, really.
No. No, he was a recluse for the most part.
Leon Josa. Malgar Coldsteel. He seemed a bit aloof and scholarly. Obviously there was Professor. Ferrum Grisar. I seem to remember he had a bit of a metally thing going on.
Yes.
Marcus the Crimson. Very big, very angry, arguably, and very much respects strength. I seem to remember we had a moment of recognition betwixt ourselves. There's Logan, Corvault Duskwalker, angry and quite ruthless. Garcia Jenny. Was Garcia the sneaky one? Yeah, Garcia was the sneaky one.
I believe so, yes.
Very sneaky, very honestly
Yes.
sneaky to the point of could be here right now and we wouldn't know it. Isn't that right, Garcia?
There's no
Good try.
response.
Worth
All
a
of us
try.
Just like turn and point our weapons at like random parts of the room.
No, I'll be honest, it's just worth a try.
Kat, go ahead and roll me a history check. One of the names so far you may have heard of.
Some of these do ring a bell. That is +7. That's 15.
15. One of these names you've heard before, but you can't put your finger on where.
Yeah.
Can you at least remember which of the names it was?
Well, when you said Lupin, that name rings a bell, but I'm not too sure why it rings a bell. It could just been from something else. And for
Havarion Lupin.
for some reason, Garcia also rings a bell, but that could just be again. You've mentioned it before.
Chris, can we ask which of the names you're stating is ringing some sort of bell?
In this instance, I will say that with the kind of the churning out of these names, at this current moment, Kat's finding it very difficult to pin which one it was. There was a moment of it clocking as she was writing these down, and kind of like, oh wait, I know one of these names, but then it's again been jumbled up with the mix.
Fair enough.
Not quite high enough to identify what the name is, but you know that you have heard one of these names before.
So it might be worth giving a look through these. Obviously,
obviously it's quite distinctive out of character. But...
I've had a long rest. Can I use Tides of Chaos to re-roll that history?
Go for it. All right.
I'm kind of better in a minute. Yeah, no, it's worse.
Hey, if you wild magic, I'll let you do it again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'll try to blowing the house up and I'll feel bad.
I'll take that 1 in 50 chance to get you all kicked out and not get to WizardCon. I mean, I wouldn't. I want you all to go to WizardCon. So, yeah.
Right. Obviously, well, we all heard what happened to Agarain. I hope, well, regardless of whatever happened, he is family, and he did me no wrong, so I hope he's found whatever peace he needs. Also, honestly, there's a fair chance he's not actually dead, as that seems to be a thing with this family. Robert Guild was another one of them. Again, seemed affable enough, but I don't think I really interacted with him much. Phalos, he's purple and snooty. Yes, he's a purple phallus.
Nice.
Maybe we'll see him at WizCon. And there was Lucy. If I remember correctly, Lucy was quite reticent.
Hold on, let me find Lucy on my list. I have a list of 20, all of them having personalities and appearances and descriptions. I need to find her on here.
I'm gonna have to go through my
Lucy?
backstory notes, aren't I?
Lucy is what I've got. Unless you've changed one of the names going around,
You know what?
if I was to say a certain crow-like individual, that's my guess on that one. I don't think it was ever 100% confirmed, but that's my guess.
It wasn't necessarily 100% confirmed.
But that was my guess.
I think I know who you're referring to. Yes. She was the one who sculpted with a short bow, I believe?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. On the fortifications, I believe.
Yes.
Was Lucy the actual name? Because that's what I believe you said previously.
Lucy is the name she's given you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not incorrect, but it's not her full name.
Right.
That's why I'm getting confused, because on my thing I have all of their full names, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Could you write that in as like a nickname thing so we know for future reference?
I'll write that in. Yeah.
I don't know if that's her full name or not. Probably not. It's a very short name if it's a full name.
Long shot, but I wouldn't suppose I know anything about that. I hear crow and I think, well.
No. The only one you may have heard of would be Professor, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. That would have been a long shot. That would have been a history check with disadvantage, but unfortunately not. I will say though, Vinny, go ahead and give me another history roll. This is for a different name this time that you've heard.
Oh boy.
I just double check if this is the.
That's even worse. That's a 7.
7. Okay. I'll actually say. Okay, in this instance, roll me a different a d20. This one is just for a separate thing. If you get 15 or higher, you can re-roll the 7. This is for something different here.
Okay. No.
15 or higher? No. In this instance, there's a name that kind of flickers past as I've heard that name, but I don't know where, and I can't put my finger on which name it was again, and it passes you by.
Okay. Yes, unfortunately my memory is not what it was.
Oh yes, you're so old now, Simon.
Mm-hmm. Were there any more?
Oh, just one. Almar, the one that's dead but not dead, but he is dead. Basically, he's undead and he's basically like a ghost, but he also has his dead body that's a zombie or a ghoul or something. It's a whole thing. He's hideously well himself. Which I suppose is quite accurate because he could, if he possessed his body again, he would indeed be up himself. I believe everything I've said there is correct, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Obviously, this is out of order of their age, which is what I've got them in. So...
But look, if you want to tell me their ages, I'm more than happy to reconfigure.
No, I'm not.
I want to. I believe in the initial interaction, I was the fifth. I was the fifth son.
You are the fifth son, but the sixth sibling.
Yeah.
Professor, obviously being female, means the professor is the fourth oldest.
Mm-hmm.
You are the sixth, but the fifth son.
Yes.
In accordance with the original backstory that you gave me.
Yes, yes.
So, we can otherwise go through these conversations, having this general thing. Is there any questions anybody wanted to ask, or should we have a long rest and move on from here? And Kat, are you using that magic item at all?
Well, I would, but I don't have anyone's blood.
Who's what item? Blood? What?
Unless I misread that. You have access to sending spell, not counting against the number of prepared spells. You may cast sending without spending spell.
Oh, yes, sorry. My last question was, which of the books that we looked through are sellable right now, and for how much?
50 GP each, because that is the base cost of books. So you otherwise go through, that's roughly what you're looking at.
Right. I'll keep a hold of the ledger, or ledgers, but I don't believe that anything else is of particular help to anyone.
No, going through here, the ledgers themselves would just be, they'd basically be junk, because people wouldn't be able to use them. But the other books, they're basic instruction manuals, or just kind of, not necessarily recipe books, but kind of reminders on how to do things. Almost like a protocol instruction manual. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. So it's an instruction manual for making anything alchemy-wise. You could take a long time to try and learn alchemy through these books, but it would take a long time to do so.
Can I?
Yep.
No, go on. You do.
Well, I was just thinking, is there anyone else in the party that would benefit from learning a bit of alchemy? Because it's not really a thing.
Not really. I enchant, but not alchemy. Okay. Can I cast sending? Does it have to use their blood, or can I use a spell slot?
To cast sending in this way,
yeah,
you must have the target's name written in their own blood within the book. So it requires their blood to be in the book in order to cast sending for free.
Okay. But I can cast sending normally.
Not for free, yeah.
Right, okay, cool. That's why I was like, meh, I don't have anyone's blood to do it that way. But yeah, no, that's cool. Okay, then in that case...
yeah, it has to be their own blood, and it has to be willingly given, notably.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
It might be worth asking the people that are here now to write their name in this book if that's an important thing, because then you can contact them.
Okay. Then in that case, then yes, I will look up. I'm going to attune, and I will state to the party. If it's okay with you lot, this book enables me to send a sending to you, but I need your blood.
What's a sending?
I can send a message to you over long distances, and I believe you can reply to me, although in very short stints of words. It's not like don't send me a life story. I'll probably get the first couple of words and then it'll fizzle out. It's a way of talking over long distance.
Including to other realms?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, there's a
Really?
chance that it doesn't go through, but you just don't know.
Then yes, as far as I know.
Well, as long as you don't use it to ask me for money, then sure.
I'm not going to ask you for money. But, okay. Do they have to write it, or do I have to write it? I
They have to.
They have to. Okay, then I will put the book down, and if you're okay with it, then write your name in here.
Okay. So you're attuning to this?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. As you attune to the item, you hold the ledger in place, and your other spell book, the one that you otherwise have, darkens and crumbles. As this happens, you watch as all of the red lines which you originally couldn't read begin to shift and change into your new spells, as it replaces your spellbook fully.
Okay. Right.
So it has all the spells that you previously had, plus the ones that you would have gained from your level up in it as well. Notably, however, as you go to the section where your party would proceed to write in their names, there are 4 names you cannot read because you did not witness them, nor do you know who they are.
I would have guessed that would have been the case.
But there are 4 names in here which you do not know who they belong to. But they're still present because they were written in the book.
Well, not much point in trying to work that out. I'm never going to figure it out because I don't know them. Okay.
May as well keep the names just in case, though.
Oh, he doesn't know what the names are.
I can't read them.
They're not legible. They're not readable.
Yeah, but don't like erase them.
Oh, they can't be.
No, no, they live in there now. This is their life.
Yeah, any blood added to the book remains in there. So this means that once Cat passes this on to whoever after Cat's gone, there will just be a list of names in there.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
I love bad decisions.
But yes, I'm more than happy to put my name in the... actually, maybe I won't put my name in the devil book.
Coward.
I think it's good to have at least one of us who isn't in the book in case this does end up being hey, you've just signed your soul over to the devil.
I don't think I have one, so I think I will be okay.
I don't think this is signing your soul to the devil. I think essentially it's a secure way of sending a setting. You know, it means that you've got your part in there, and I can now send it directly to you without having to spend my own spell slots.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is an effect that is coming from the scary book, right?
The scary book?
The scary book.
The scary book?
The one that made Cat's everything worse.
Oh, that one's crumbled. That one's been destroyed by attuning to this book.
Oh, this is the new one. Okay.
This is the new one, yeah. This is the one you found in Professor's bedroom.
That does not, give me more confidence. Yeah. I am going to say that I am happy for my name to be out of it, because 9 times out of 10, I'm already there with you.
Okay, but you go missing.
It's not like this is the only time we can write in it. If it's necessary at some point, I will.
Okie pokey.
I'll say that everybody in the party currently, except for Romulus, writes the name of the book.
Yep.
Unless there's anybody else objects.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
I can't remember if you guys know Vinny's full name yet.
I don't think we do.
Vinegar.
Close.
Vincenzo?
Vindication.
Vindication! Wait, what's your last name?
Swift Sail.
Vindication Swift Sail.
Huh. That's fair.
I see why
It's
you go
not.
by Vinny.
Ouch.
Yeah, sorry, that one. Oh, that was maybe a bit mean, but it was just such a good line.
So how are we collecting the blood?
I was just gonna stab you all with a quill.
I'm happy to just like with my nail, like get scrape some off like my arm or something, and then write with my nail.
That's cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll allow that.
What color would my blood be?
Red.
Oh. Oh, I thought it'd be cooler.
Due to the layer of hell that you come from, your blood still is still an iron composition blood, so it still comes across as red. The others have different colors, such as green and black, depending on what metal is infused into their blood.
Okay, okay, I'm the least cool layer. I get it. So I imagine I write in like my language, curve gold tongue.
Yeah. Your name is written in there, and you can now read that, Cat.
Okay.
K writes in K.
Cool, cool, cool.
And it sticks. Vinny, you write in your full name?
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You write in your full name. Okay.
Just to check, Chris, is my full name Romulus Rust, or do I now have to add anything else to that?
No. Romulus Rust will still be your name.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I don't have to add on my father's last name or anything like that.
No. You just add you add the name which you yourself have for the purposes of it.
Where's WizardCon happening?
Braylon.
It is Braylon.
Next city over.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to do before going to bed?
No, we've been putting it off long enough. Let's get to WizCon!
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm
Yes,
going
I
to quickly
did
send
spend
a sending to Damien.
Uh,
I'll send you a message.
I stay up all night
Send
making my WizCon costume.
Send it just to Jamie. And
Okay.
say you have 25, and put in the end you have 25 words to reply as Damien.
Okay.
Or don't, because he wouldn't know how it works. But I'll leave that up to you. Yeah, I'll let you just send it directly to him, and then he'll get back to you when he gets back to you. I mean, he asked me what did we do to Romulus, so yeah. He asked that like 20 minutes ago. So yeah. Anyway, you all get some rest. Otherwise benefiting from your sleep, you rest. You otherwise lie into bed before as you begin to wake up the next day after enjoying the otherwise plush pillows and bed. Each of you have a knock on the door as a house servant of some form brings in a wash bowl, a towel, and some basic munchies for the breakfast. Before what looks to be one of the more regal members of staff, shall we say, a head member of staff, otherwise peers into each of your rooms and says to each of you independently, or each of your sets independently, the Penny would like to see you all for dinner or for breakfast downstairs if you are willing to join her. Before Una takes you to Braylon.
Okie dokes.
Step out of each of the rooms and head off. You each get ready. Do you join them for breakfast?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Heading downstairs into what looks to be a dining room. The dining room, as you can tell, has been stripped of a lot of its furnishings. The table and a set of chairs are all that really remain, sets of cutlery and a tablecloth. You each have a plate brought to you with otherwise a welcoming and warm breakfast for each of you, as you note that Penny is otherwise sat at one head of the table and Lucan at the other. Una otherwise stands behind Penny, almost always at attention and waiting as she stands there, nodding to each of you as you come in.
Hi.
Penny otherwise, as you all take your seat, Penny looks up and goes, Lucan, if you would, pay them their amount for completing it. Lucan otherwise respectfully nods and then places what looks to be 5 bags of coins on the table. As each of you may add 500, no, not 500 platinum,
Yes.
250 platinum to your inventories.
200 and
No,
no.
it is 500. No,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so sorry.
500.
I was right the first time.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
like
yeah,
going,
500.
yeah, you did get that.
I did get it right the first time, yeah. 500 platinum for each of you, which is 5,000 gold each.
Cat, just to check, would you be able to put 400 of that? Actually, you know what? 450 of that into your cat pocket.
Cat gestures down to his money bag that I gave back to him in the cave. No, the pocket bag is full of red
Shit.
things.
There's just 8 spiky giant crystals pointing out of the now full pocket bag.
Well, no, it's 4, because it can hold 4 items.
Oh, it can only hold 4, that's right.
Right. I need to get this banked ASAP. Is there a bank in this town, or?
Not here, there is one in Breland, though.
Cool. I'll get money banked and be like, yes, this is staying here. Do they have like an investment banking type thing, or?
No. No, there's no investment banking. Burn is not that kind. So, you're each given your gold. You enjoy your breakfast. Are there any questions or anything you would like to do before you go to WizardCon?
I am in the process of messaging everyone. God damn it, Chris! Why do you tell me I have to message Jamie directly? He's so confused as to what is happening. If he needs,
Okay. Is this what you're doing the day before when you do your spell points and stuff?
No. This is this. I'm giving a note over to Penny before we all head off.
Oh, okay. Also, I forgot, you cast Sending. Roll me a D20, see if your wild magic goes up.
Why do you hate me? Please don't explode.
Roll me a D100.
Come on!
Ah, this is the joy I live for.
For God's sake!
Okay. So for some portion of yesterday, while you were all otherwise, as you're all kind of having a conversation, as Kat's like, oh, I'll just quickly send a sending to Damien. You all go invisible for a minute.
Okay. Damien's replied, but it's more just his... I'm receiving Damien's inner monologue at this point.
Ah, the classic Damien.
I could read it out to you if you want to hear what Damien has to say.
I'll leave that to you if you want to.
Okay. So, I said to Damien, hi Damien, it's Kat. We're on our way to Breylin before heading back to Zaker's. We miss you, how have you been? He's replied, time travel is weird. Why do I have to give way? Where did Starlight go? That is all I've had to reply. I'm just like...
Kay licks their lip. That's where Starlight went.
Just look at this and be like... Thanks for the reply. So there you go. He's alive still, and...
He's probably having a wonderful 8 o'clock in the morning sending message sent to him. So, you pass that message over. Go ahead and just roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, right. Hang on.
Yeah.
I was scrolling down and be like,
there.
where's my dice? Oh, no, hang on. That's not on my character sheet, is it? I mean, I'm not very sleight of hand. I'm definitely...
It's a new day if you want to Tides of Chaos. For free.
No, I might need it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You
6.
otherwise pass her a piece of paper, not too discreetly, but you pass her a piece of paper all the same. She otherwise takes it, tucks it in, kind of gives it a read, just nods, and tucks it into her pocket.
I'll give her a hug.
give her a hug before you leave. Una otherwise kind of steps forward. You watch as her feathers, or peacock feathers, otherwise rise up behind.
Give Penny
rise up
picked
behind her
piece
in
of
the-
pickled paper.
Yes. Kind of the dark grey and browns of her feathers as she otherwise furls them, and brings her hands together, and in that instance is going to cast teleport. She has been to Braylon before, so she is going to take all of you with her. As the spell completes in that process, the magic otherwise wrapping and unveiling around you, as you are lifted and you find yourself standing in the early morning hours of Braylon's streets.
Where's gone?
So,
Where's
I think
gone?
we'll take a quick break there for the moment, as we get ready and prepare for WizardCon. So, if you want to grab snacks and drinks before we begin, then we shall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll just close and have the
Right.
correct tabs open. You've had your GP bounty, that's fine. WizardCon begins. Oh! No, that's fine. I forgot something, but I'll do it next time.
Right, I'll be back.
Okay, then. Yes, I'll be right back as well.
Braylon, WizardCon, and... Right.
Where's
we're
it
back.
gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? What do you want, Fran?
Right, I'm back. Anybody else back yet? Take that as a no. Anybody else back yet?
I return.
Welcome back.
Where's it gone? Right, where is all my notes? That I read for Wizard gone?
Oh, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I've returned.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Just finished my croissant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have your log.
Oh, I have another yucky cold decongestion drink.
Mmm.
Fun.
Yummy.
Oh, so lucky.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's so hard for me. I mean, I'm gonna have to sit here and force myself to eat this Yule log, knowing full well that you've got something so much more superior.
You need that your log, Jamie.
I put some honey and cinnamon and ginger in it to try and make it better. It smells awful. Like, it's so sour, I can just sniff it and I feel it in my cheeks. You know that feeling?
Oh.
But it's the full strength stuff, so I guess that's how it goes. Equivalent to 2 paracetamol.
I salute you. Your bravery
Thank you.
goes unparalleled.
I also got some chips and salsa, so that will be better. I'm not completely depressed.
Oh, we're talking about being depressed? Oh boy, have I got some...
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about cold medicine, but
Yeah, I'm just.
you doing
depressed
okay,
that
buddy?
Cold medicine is.
Simon, you know I'm... Jokes aside, I'm mostly okay.
Antidepressant gang.
Hey! Oh, that's right.
If only we had the easy antidepressants that D&D has called Calm Emotions.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's just,
Comes in
it takes less than 6 seconds to cast and someone's just happy. It's like, oh, it's great. Oh. Anyway, let us get back to this. As you all otherwise land in Braylin, the cobbled streets before you, marquees and tents being raised and put up, you go from the rainy and high wind area of Farganuk, not 2 days travel from here, to a completely bright, sunny and cloudless sky directly above Braylin.
Above Balin.
Above Braylin.
Everybody brav's bravery.
Above Braylin.
If it's brightful.
Ha.
It's bright.
Ha.
Yes.
Brave Britain is beautiful at this prime of Brea.
No, we're not doing this again.
One wizard flying around on a cloud.
As you otherwise take in the surroundings of this, you can see there are a number of other wizards who are otherwise beginning to pop in. But you do note that there are what look to be these stone platforms that are here that you didn't notice when you first came in. Granted, you didn't walk around town that much. But you note that there are these stone platforms where an individual otherwise flattens out what looks to be this sheet of almost dark fabric of some form. And kind of snapping their fingers and saying something in a language you don't quite understand, you watch as it otherwise pops up into this stone platform with a slight glow from the top of it. As you see these individuals beginning to set up tents, loading out alchemy ingredients, enchantment materials, potions and magic items. What looks to be individuals working on setting out tents for all manner of bits and pieces. You get a sense of that there's a lot to explore here. And you see that wizards are beginning to pop in left, right, and centre. You know that after these bits of fabric are placed and they pop up as these platforms, you know that there are magical flashes and individuals begin to step onto the platform from elsewhere and walk off of the platform itself onto the main square here as the full hustle and bustle begins to kick off.
Wizard Con. Okay.
Una otherwise turns to all of you. I hope you all enjoy WizardCon. I've been a few times, but haven't been since I've got my permanent employment. Until Penny is of age, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you all very much enjoy it. One thing I will say, and this is more to keep on the down low, if you are looking for further work, Penny, she isn't old enough to be the mayor yet, but the ward is involved in some shady dealings. I'm not sure exactly what, and I can't investigate without leaving Penny undefended for too long. I don't think he'll do anything dangerous to harm or hurt her, but he's using her to get her money. I haven't been able to get solid proof. He's very slippery, and the quill doesn't seem to pick up everything that he says. If you are looking for further work after you've finished at WizardCon, if you haven't got jobs to do, you're welcome to return to Farganuk and, well, I believe you have... No, do you have the sending spell, young Cat?
I do, now.
It is quite possible that I would be able to sending to you and you to I, and we can discuss matters of employment if there is investigations you wish to do on this individual. I can send you what I know, but this will be up to you. If you will not, I will simply wait for the next few months until she grows of age.
This is out of it. Would Cat know? Do you have to use your actual name, or is it like whatever name to send a send?
You aren't sure.
Okay. Yeah, by all means. I'm happy to receive information and pass the information. Try and help where I can.
Only if you're heading back to Farganuk. I know that it's where you've just been, but obviously time-sensitive matters of WizardCon.
I mean, look at the party. In all fairness, like, although we look like a ragtag bunch of chaos, we do genuinely care. So I dare say we probably will be coming back that way, especially if you need help. I mean, I don't speak for the party, but I imagine they will want to as well.
If you ever need, after Penny comes of age, if you ever need a lift to any of the other Wizard Cons over the next year, I can help with that.
There's more. Okay. Yes.
Out of interest, how many Wizard Cons are there?
4 a year. They happen every 3.5 months or so. They are, well, the ones that I mainly go to are the ones in Braylin and in Maruk, as those two are fairly close to one another when it's relatively good weather, during summer and autumn. But there is one that happens in winter that takes you further north. I believe it's been relocated since I last understood. It used to be in Paloon, but I believe it's since moved to a new small settlement known as Marrowsmere. That's the next one coming up. And then there's one that takes place right at the beginning of, or near the beginning of the year, in Gosmaroon, in the Majocracy. But I just keep on contact with some of my friends who do attend. But I must be back and getting on with business. If you ever
Right,
need
yes.
anything of me and you wish to otherwise request anything, I'll see what I can do, and I'll help where I can.
Yeah.
Best of luck and enjoy your time here.
What is your full
I'm
name?
sure you'll find plenty.
Do I need that for the sending? I've only just learned it.
In what context?
To send a sending to you.
You need someone's name.
Do I need your...
Oh, no. So long as you have seen who I am or you know my name, you should be able to, or the name that I present to you, which is Una, my real name.
Okay.
You are welcome to send to me whenever you wish.
Okay. Okay. No worries. All right. Well, yes, by all means, we will be in contact.
Okay.
Why did I have to give my blood then?
Because it's for me to use for free. Means I don't have to use third level spell slots to contact literally everyone.
Did you want me to tell them roughly what the tome does?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Basically, if your name is written in the book, Cat can cast Sending for free a number of times equal to her proficiency bonus to the people who are in the book. So if she needs to talk to, let's say, for example, you put Una's name or somebody else's important's name in this and you need to contact them over a long distance, Cat can do it for free without expending any spell slots or spell points, which is useful for conservation, especially in an attrition system like this.
That's how much our friendship means to you. You don't even want to pay to call me.
I can pay to call you, but should there be a situation where I need to pay to call you and then pay to save you, if I don't have a whole lot of pay, that could be life or death. I'm just conserving what I need to try and keep you lot safe.
That's a very smart answer. I don't trust smart answers.
Yeah, I'm stingy. What are you gonna do about it? Does that make you feel better?
Well,
Whoa!
I will be off. Enjoy the rest of your time.
Thank
And
you.
You watch as she kind of she joins her hands once again, and in one single motion is whisked away.
Okay. WizardCon. Guys, WizardCon. Oh, I want to make a staff. If any of you see any mahogany wood, I will repay you if you could get it for me. I need
What
1,000
wood?
GPs wood. Mahogany.
Mahogany.
Mahogany doors. A nice
Mahogany.
shade of beautiful mahogany. Now, this is a real Bobby Dazzler. If anyone can tell me what I'm referencing, Chris will give you inspiration. That's a lie.
Bobby Dazzler, isn't that like the glasses guy from Antiques Roadshow or something like that?
Oh, you're so close.
That's not bad for someone who doesn't watch TV. I just remember seeing things on the internet.
I don't think any of us do.
I occasionally watch a show.
Cash
Usually
in the
it's...
Attic?
Oh!
They're the two
It's-
that I know.
Yes. So, I was doing David Dickinson.
Is he from a Marvel movie?
No.
David Dickinson's Real Deal and stuff like that is his whole shtick. And from what I understand, he was kind of just an antiques dealer that also did a little bit of fraud on the side, but
As you
was
do.
famous.
Very good.
God,
Yeah,
it's just-
he can have a little fraud as a treat.
What's a cheeky little bit of fraud amongst friends, you know?
yes, of course. So,
just gonna post that in there just so you've got a visual of his face.
Oh, very good.
what have we got here?
But yeah, it's
I
it.
recognise that face.
I know, right? It's hardwired into you.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
As
no.
I said, if you see
Okay.
any mahogany wood, 1,000 GP's worth, for a staff, I will reimburse you, but I could do with that.
He looks like the guy from Bridget Jones too.
Can't say I've seen that.
I'm sorry, what?
You know, the mum goes off and basically cheats on Bridget's dad with the orange, purple.
Spoilers.
CGI. You aren't gonna watch it with me. Let's be honest, Chris.
Okay. I think we all
They
should
might be
organize a
one
movie
time.
night for watching the entire Bridget Jones
I'm
saga.
so down.
Yeah, sure.
Next time I
aged really badly.
next time I visit down south, we'll watch some horrible movies. I think this needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Purely so that we can watch the worst trash imaginable, which is objectively Bridget Jones' Diary 2.
Oh no! Well, I'll be in the kitchen preparing pizzas and doing dishes then while you watch Bridget Jones all the way through.
All 3 films?
Oh.
What, there's a third?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
there's
do
a third
it.
one. What was that? Bridget Jones's Baby or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll
Yeah.
commit to this.
Mm.
I will say Colin Firth is objectively the best individual in the entire series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, let's get back on track. So,
Nope. We're now
What
moving
are
on to
you looking
Pride and
for?
Prejudice.
what are you looking for at WizardCon? Is there anything any of you would like to do in particular?
I'm
Okay.
looking for any magical bullshit that could help me with the making of the Omnistone.
Okay. Are you splitting up for this, by the way, party-wise,
Okay.
or are you sticking together?
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
It depends where everyone else wants to go.
I need to ask Romulus. Am I allowed that emerald?
Do we have any way to check if that thing is actually what I need for this? Because as I understand it, I could take the emerald to one of the ley stones or lodestones or whatever, or the
Yeah.
conflux ring thing, and then that could make that work.
I think mine
You
is.
could, but you could do the same if you got another emerald.
A normal
Yeah,
emerald.
and,
Okay.
and I can
Being is
imbue
that-
it with earth because I have the earth property.
Yeah, the difference is that Cat can do it, can use the emerald now, whereas if you were to just get another emerald and imbue it, it
Yeah.
would probably be the same. So.
Okay, yeah. You use it now.
Okay, thank you. Right.
Okay.
I have.
I'm
shopping
gonna
lists.
say that Curve goes off on her own, and anything that catches her eye, she goes towards.
Okay, Kay will do the same, and Kay otherwise lets you know, Vinny, that if anything catches his attention, he'll have a look for it. But if he doesn't come back, don't wait up for him. He may have found something too good to be true.
Fair enough. Okay, in that case, I'm going to have a look around on my own as well.
Okay, so Romulus and Cat, are you going together?
I'm happy to go together. I need to get some mahogany wood, some fur/leather. I've got the thing. I've got the crystal. I also need to buy a chest. And I just want to look at different spells and magic stuff. And I also want to buy a wizard hat because it's con. I need a wizard hat.
Okay.
I need a wizard hat.
Okay. Wandering around and otherwise having a look around, I would like everyone to roll me an investigation check. And is there anything that Curve or Vinny you're looking for in particular here?
Anything I can use to be stronger and cooler.
And cooler. Okay.
Yeah, just any magic stuff that might be useful. I don't think Vinny has a clear idea in mind of what's even available to him.
So go ahead and give me an investigation check there, Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
Romulus,
sorry,
go
my
ahead
meant
and
to
give
be
me
doing
one
investigation.
Oh, very
Yes,
quick thing.
investigation.
Would it have been possible to stop off at the bank and deposit my money?
You can. It means you won't be able to spend any of it, but yeah.
I don't need to deposit all of it, though, do I?
How much do you wish to deposit?
Well, my investigation check is not going great. I was going to deposit 300 platinum pieces.
Okay, so take that out of your inventory, and I will write that in the.
Banked money.
Remember where I put it? The banked money document.
I'm keeping my own little note of it.
Ah, yes, bank accounts. So yours is a shared account with Cat and Romulus. So you're adding 300. You said 300 platinum.
300 platinum, yes.
Okay, so because of the pricing of the 300 platinum, you will need to pay. That's 30, because that's 3,000 gold.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 1 gold piece to deposit all of that. No, sorry, 10 gold pieces to deposit all of that. I will just take that out of the account.
Oh, are you sure?
I mean, you have the money in the account, so.
So that would be equivalent of 1 platinum piece.
Yeah.
So if I'm remembering correctly, that should be 311 platinum pieces total.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep my own note of
No,
it,
that's
so I know.
fine because I lost it last time and I found it again, and so I've got my one for when I need it. But yeah. Okay. So note down that you've got that on you. Okay. So Romulus and Cat, I will say the two of you. Cat, did you reroll with your Blades of Chaos? I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay.
Very
So-
important.
Okay, so Romulus and Cat, you stop off at the bank first before Cat. You've had your eye on something and you head that direction. Vinny and Curve, I believe you both got good rolls.
13.
Okay,
I had a negative
that's fine.
investigation
21.
because I'm
21.
stupid.
It's okay. You otherwise both kind of wander about for a little bit, but both end up at roughly the same place. You can see what looks to be a rather large stool that has quite a few individuals otherwise hovering around it, kind of looking over bits and pieces, and you know that there are multiple of each item. As you otherwise have a look over, you note that this seems to be some form of magic items vendor. Two individuals what looks to be a water fluxy, otherwise they're just kind of bartering away and selling to different individuals, and next to them seems to be an elven Ishlan individual, her hair otherwise tied back into a single braid, again bartering but keeping an eye over all of it. As you're otherwise wandering around, you are noting that there are what looks to be stone figures hopping from one roof to another, kind of keeping a prowl and an eye on the crowd itself, just keeping a general eye out for any danger. You are also seeing, as the day is beginning to progress, not a lot progress, but it's breaking out of early morning, you note that there are parents walking around with kids, and the kids have put on makeshift robes and wizard hats as they're running around and otherwise enjoying themselves, parents keeping general supervision over them. As the two of you otherwise approach the stalls, probably from different angles and having a look over the stuff, I'll say the two of you join together for this, as one of them, the Fluxy, otherwise looks over you both. Ah, welcome! Welcome to our stall. Is there anything in particular that catches your attention for all of you? Or anything you're after in particular that we may be able to guide you towards?
Are the rest of us here, or is it just those two?
Just them
It's
two.
just those two, because Cat's taken you away somewhere else because of your
Thought as much.
investigation roll.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me.
Well, it's my first time at one of these, so I was hoping to just have a look around, see what's available.
I have a list of about 35 different items.
Oh boy.
So I'm not going to copy and paste that. So I'm just going to say, roll me your choice of perception or investigation to see if there's anything that catches your attention. And then, if there's anything you wish to specify, I'll let you know if you see something of that note. And same with you, Curve. If there's anything in particular that you go, "Oh, I would like this kind of item," you're welcome to ask, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, I would like to ask, have you got anything that might be good for combat or traveling?
Combat or traveling? Are you more of a brawler type, or are you a defensive type? Are you the kind who uses magic?
I will use magic or my weapon to get what needs to be done.
Right. So you're more of a spellblade type. Do you like going fast from A to B? Do you enjoy being defensive or offensive?
Offensive.
Offensive. Well, let me have a quick look here. Otherwise, has a quick look over the items, see if there's anything that might catch your attention.
Can I just do a quick perception check to see if
Anything
this
catches your
person
attention?
looks well? Just this person. What are they like? Do they look honest, passionate?
Yeah, go for it. Give me an insight check. And Vinny, what did you get?
Mine was perception, so a 6. Do you have anything?
Go for it.
Yeah. Do you have anything that I could wear that might help to protect me? Nothing that would slow me down, though.
Yes, we do have basic armors. We have a few leathers in place that might be able to assist with keeping you going. If you are looking for speed, it wouldn't provide defense necessarily, but I could help you get faster with something. What kind of a combatant are you when it comes to combat, shall we say?
I mostly value mobility where I can. I get in, get my hits in, and then get out again.
Well,
So more mobility could be useful.
okay. We have these. They are a little bit pricey, but they are also in high demand. Boots of speed. They'll help you go a bit faster, and they'll make it difficult for anybody to catch you in a particular moment. They last for a duration, and they will help you with that. If you're more of the skirmisher type, hitting in and out, I might recommend this, and otherwise reaches down, holds up what looks to be a very fine rapier. But you can see that across what little of the blade there is for the point of it is a otherwise very brilliant and almost bronzish coloured metal, with the basket hilt of the rapier itself being carved as if made of flames. This sort of one might be able to help you in certain scenarios, helps you do a little bit more damage, but the Boots of Speed might help. Otherwise, we do have improved magical resistance armor. They will otherwise assist you in keeping yourself safe. +1 leather armor if you are after it. The +1 leather armor is 2,000 gold. Again, slightly on the steeper side than what you would usually expect, but it's a convention.
Fucking markups.
Yeah. The Boots of Speed are also 2,000 gold, and the rapier, which is marked as a flame tongue rapier, is 1,800 gold. As for you, looking at you, Curve, did you roll? You rolled an insight, didn't you?
Yes, 15.
Yeah, you can tell looking at the prices of these that people are looking at these items and they're going, that's quite expensive. But you can tell from the general crowd of people here, it's marked up in price because it's a convention.
Yeah.
But these are items which could still be very useful. And as a result, getting them might be more difficult. Looking amongst them all, there's nothing that particularly catches your attention as a weapon in particular that you find interesting, should we say? But you are seeing a few kind of bits and pieces which look fun, should we say.
I like fun.
Looking across them, you can see what looks to be a kind of this large fan with what looks to be a image of a dragon otherwise swirling across the front of it. And you can see that's only 250 gold. Looks to be kind of like a fun item. And another one which looks like a kind of this long black wand with this crest of a spider at the end, wrapped in this cage of metal. Those are the two that catch your attention. But other than that, there's nothing else here that is really standing out to you.
And the person, did they suggest anything? Sorry, after I said about.
They otherwise look at you and go, there's nothing that we really have for a fighter such as yourself. We have defensive items, yes, but offense is a bit more tricky.
What does
you mentioned that you imbue your weapon with magic. Are you a strong magical user or a more standard?
I don't know.
Right. Do you use magic a lot?
Fairly.
Okay.
I want to say 50-50.
50-50. Well, otherwise look over their inventory and their items as they otherwise take in some of it. There are a few things here that could work for protection's sake. We have rings of protection, rings of evasion. If you wanted to go more heavy in your casting style, a ring of spell storing could work in your favor. And depending on what kind of line of work you're in, then depending on what you do for a living, there are other items that might suit you in that manner.
What does a spell storing do?
The Ring of Spell Storing, let me quickly look that up. The Ring of Spell Storing can store up to 5 levels worth of spells at a time. Any creature can cast a first level through 5th level spell into the ring by touching the ring, or by touching the ring as the spell is cast. The spell has no effect other than to be stored in the ring itself. So effectively, you cast a spell ahead of time, and then it gets stored in the ring for you to use later. So as a warlock, this is a way of you getting a one-off temporary spell slot.
So it wouldn't cost a spell point for me to.
It would cost a spell slot for you to store a spell in the ring, but then
Yes.
it remains in there until released. So you could do it on an off day and just have something in there.
Interesting. And the evasion. That sounds fun.
That one is fun.
Yeah, the Ring of Evasion.
Mm.
It has 3 charges and regains D3 at dawn, or 1d3 of them at dawn. When you fail a dexterity saving throw while wearing it, you can use your reaction and expend 1 charge to succeed the saving throw instead. So it's an automatic success.
How often do we do dexterity checks?
Every time I
Dexterity is
cast
one of
a
the
spell.
most common outside of Constitution.
Okay.
I would argue that dexterity in combat is more common than constitution.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why I said it's just one of the most common outside of maybe Constitution, because Constitution is more common in the early game and less common in the late game.
I mean,
You get
wisdom
a
is
lot of
pretty common
poison
throughout
in the
as well.
early. Yeah. Out of where you look at it, Constitution is important at the beginning and then teeters off a little bit more towards the end. Dexterity picks up in the mid to late game, and Wisdom's just there throughout. And then Charisma occasionally pokes its head around when you get to 7th level, and then just disappears unless you've got creatures without legendary resistances.
How much
Yeah.
for the evasion ring then?
The Ring of Evasion is 4,600 gold, as it is a sought-after item because it is very useful. But it does help you and get out of a sticky situation should you need it.
I may need help with maths.
But you got 5,000 gold from your
I thought you said platinum.
Oh,
yeah, 500,
Yeah, so
500
five-
platinum, which is 5,000.
Oh, 5,000. Yeah, I get you. Okay, okay.
So you can buy it.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Is it?
I haven't
That
played
would-
this game before. I don't know.
So let's put it this way: if you have a reaction to spend and you're not spending your reaction on a lot, this allows you to take a Meteor Swarm at 20th level, doing 150 points of damage to 70 with the use of a reaction.
I die at 70 points of damage.
Okay, yeah, but
this
it's
is at level 20, I'm assuming.
Oh,
At your current level, this would turn the equivalent of about 60 damage into 30. So again, it halves the damage because you auto succeed. Against some things like a disintegrate, you just don't take any damage. So it's just counters a lot of things. It is a very powerful ring, and it also means that Cat can cast Elemental Detonation on you without worrying about you failing your save, if she's really that mean.
True.
I can take it. Cast it. Do it.
There are other things as well, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking to be a healthier individual and be able to take more of a punch, we do have some things for that. If you're just looking to be generally resistant against magic, we do have a few options as well. But as I said, is there anything outside of... Well, is there anything that you do outside of your line of work? What kind of caster or fighter might you be, for example?
Warlock.
Oh,
I'm
so
sorry,
you're-
our business is closed to you. Goodbye.
So
Yeah.
you are otherwise beholden to a pact. Yes.
In a way.
Very well. We do have something which could be of interest to you, and otherwise holds up what looks to be a rather small amulet. You can see that it is made of what looks to be a kind of like this cast iron metal cage to it, and inside there is this small red gemstone. This is an amulet of the Pact Keeper. With this, you will find that your magic as a individual beholden to the less spoken, more esoteric arts, you will find that you will have more to give each day with your pact in tow. You can draw more from your patron, shall we say. This
And he
amulet...
won't get angry?
Hopefully not. This amulet, while you are attuned to it, will give you a +1 bonus to your spell attack rolls and saving throw, DC, for all of your Warlock spells. In addition, you can regain 1 Warlock spell slot as an action while holding it in your hand, but you can only do this once per long rest. So it's the same sort of thing as a Ring of Spell Storing. This only costs 550 GP, notably. Just the difference is that you just regain a spell slot, but it takes an action, so you can't really use it in combat. You can, but it'll be tricky.
Bonus action spells are possible.
This is true. Bonus action spells are possible. But yeah, this one's only 550 GP, so it's more... If you're not looking to spend as much, it might be more worth it for you. But a Ring of Evasion or Ring of Protection might be able to assist you in that manner.
I think this time I'll just go for the pact.
The amulet?
The amulet.
Okay. So, for 550, add to your inventory, Amulet of the Pact Keeper +1. I will help you fill that out after session. And same goes for the rest of you as well, if you want me to help with filling out any of these that you don't know where they might be.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, remove 55 platinum or 550 gold from your inventory. Vinny, is there anything in particular you would like to go for?
There was the Flame Tongue Rapier, the +1 armor, and the Boots of Speed.
Boots of Speed. Yeah. There are other items as well. If you're looking for anything else in particular, if you're looking for a way to become stronger or more resistant to any effects, are you you said you are a skirmisher, so you dabble in just the martial arts?
I've some skill at magic as well.
Any in particular? Are you more utilitarian? Do you bask in certain aspects, like your friend here?
I don't tend to do much damage with my spells. Yes, more about supporting my friends. I can heal, I can debilitate enemies, I can...
Oh, so are you more of the devote to the divines, then?
Not particularly, I'm afraid. I'm just a wandering musician, really.
Ah.
One of
Well,
those fuckers.
We do have something which might be of interest to you, then. This one is I will say we only have one of these in stock, so if you are wanting it, it will sell soon. It is on the pricier side because it is very powerful. It is 3,000 gold, but, and she otherwise holds up what looks to be a lyre, a musical instrument. With this, you will be able to repair most objects. In addition, you'll be able to repair an object and protect it from further damage for a short period of time. And it has other functions as well. You'll be able to access certain magics you previously couldn't. You'll only be able to do them once, but... well, once before you need a rest anyway. But it will still function for helping you.
Does sound useful. You said it was on the pricier side?
Yes. It has some rather high-level magic type to it. Tier 4 and above. But you should still be able to use it.
What are we talking
This
about?
lyre, while you are tuned to this lyre, you will be able to, as an action, cast Fabricate, Move Earth, Pass Wall, or Summon Construct. The spell doesn't, and that spell can't be cast from it again until the next dawn. It doesn't cost spell slots to do this. You just cast each one once. Yeah, it's attunement by a bard. Or additionally, you know the Mending cantrip. As a result of using this, and whenever you use it, you can cast it as a reaction when an object or structure takes damage, so long as you can see it within 300 feet. And when it does, that structure then becomes immune to that type of damage until the start of your next turn. Notably, this combos very well with Summon Construct. Because as a reaction, you can just make it immune to damage for a turn. Or one damage type for a turn. So it is on the pricier side, but it could serve you well if you are more of the magical individual. And the magic that is tied to the lyre itself is capable of many tricks. And with tricks comes other options too, depending on how much you're looking to play around with some ideas with skirmishing. We have a Quicksilver bow, which allows you to fire more shots a little bit easier. That one's only 650. We have a few movable rods in stock at the moment. If you're looking for a way to hold a door shut or come up with some clever idea.
Simon.
Does
Simon,
sound-
immovable
does
rod,
sound-
Simon.
Does sound useful. How much would that set me back?
The immovable rod? 675 gold. Now, I'm only allowed to sell one per group, so you and your tiefling friend here will only be allowed to have one. Immovable rods are high demand and quite a lot of people do buy them, so we are trying to spread them out as much as we can. We have received complaints in previous years of individuals buying up all our stock and then using them and coming back and buying more next year.
Using them to do weird fucking shit.
We don't ask questions. And you're not there. Romulus is busy.
Which is why I'm getting another
stroking
movable.
Romulus is busy in another stall stroking the mahogany.
That's some good mahogany.
Mm.
Wait, what does Cat need the mahogany for?
Staff.
Jesus.
So yes, there are a few options if you're looking for anything in particular. And was that everything that you might want, Curve, or was there more you might attempt to try and pick up here?
What was the fan? You said there was a fan that had a dragon on it?
It is a wind fan. It's 250 gold. It's not that expensive.
What does it do?
The wind fan allows you to cast the Gust of Wind spell from it. Once used, the fan shouldn't be used again until the next dawn. Each time you use it again before then, it has a cumulative 20% chance of not working and tearing itself into useless non-magical tatters, if you do.
And what does the spell do? Sorry, Gust of Wind.
That's right. Gust of Wind is a second level spell, creates a 60-foot long, 10-foot wide blast of air in a direction. Each creature must make a successful strength saving throw. It will be pushed back 15 feet in the direction following the line. Any creature in the line must spend 2 feet of movement for every 1 foot while moving closer to you, and the gust disperses gas or vapors and it also extinguishes candles, torches, and similar unprotected flames in the area. This is concentration for up to a minute.
I think it would be an irresponsible purchase. Good day.
Okay. Okay, so you're done buying then?
Well, from this person.
Okay. You move over one stall and you see the kind of the elvenish and otherwise looking out and going, you in anything particular? Looking for anything of interest?
Anything good for combat or fun?
combat or fun? Well, if you're looking for something to keep you more alive, shall we say,
Love it.
we have one of these. Holds up what looks to be a rather nice amulet with the
Another one.
another one with well, with actually notably, no, you're able to wear multiple amulets. You'll be fine. Of what looks to be a heart, just in the center, a nice kind of simple heart charm, but it's not your typical sweetheart-looking one. It's anatomical.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
This amulet will keep you going for some time and hopefully help protect you from other injuries that may be considered fatal to you. This is an amulet of health. It will set your constitution score to 19.
How much?
The amulet of health is 2,200 gold.
Yeah. Okay. You need to buy another one for Cat.
Cat can come here and buy her own. You're only allowed to buy one of each per person.
How nice is Curve at this point? Does she buy this for Cat? Cat has played many tricks on Curve.
But maybe this is the positive reward she needs to stop her from turning back to her life of crime.
Ha has not got a life of crime.
We've got a list that says otherwise.
That's a lie. That's a list of lies.
It's a list of objective truth.
Lies.
While you consider.
Yeah, let me consider.
Yeah, while you two consider on your shopping, we will instead change our perspective and move to Romulus and Cat. As you two are wandering through the streets of this area, seeing a few vendors, what look to be just general shop folk going around their business as normal, florists, carpenters, the like. You're seeking out something in particular. As Romulus, you're distracted looking around at all of the traditional shops that exist within Braylin. Cat, you hone in on what looks to be a series of tarps which are set up with what looks to be a staff and wand, otherwise crossed above it in almost an illusory display. As you approach, you can see what looks to be a male sea elf, otherwise standing behind the stall, otherwise just waiting for individuals to come along, while another individual not far from here, what looks to be a draconian, is currently busy just kind of organizing what looks to be piles of metals.
Both very useful. Okay, I'm going to approach the staff one. Do they have like material component kind of things that look like they've got woods and stuff, or is it just completed stuffs?
It is woods. So these are ingredients. So they are selling what looks to be woods and monster pieces, as well as crystals and gemstones.
Oh, cool. I am going
As
to...
you otherwise approach, you look up at the individual, you see the kind of the sea elven physique, the very prim and proper suit, the glasses otherwise pushed to the bridge of their nose, and the hair tied back into a bun. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check, please.
Intelligence check. That is 22.
Intelligence check.
Oh, intelligence check. Yeah, no, sorry, that is 19.
Still,
pretty high.
you look at this individual, and then a name springs to mind. Halon Yong.
Oh, what?
Do you remember who this is?
It does ring a bell. Is this someone that I'm...
You'll need to go very far back from this, as this is the owner of the Wand Carvers.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
They otherwise look at the two of you as you otherwise arrive. They smile and go, "Individuals from up north, didn't think you'd be coming to this Wizard Con." Otherwise looks at the two of you. Cat, Do you wish to do anything in reaction to this individual speaking to the two of you?
Oh God. I'm going to. Oh, this is going to catch you completely off guard. Right. Damn. I unchecked disguise self. Okay.
Okay.
I have
Roll
alter
me
self. Alright. I am going to give myself a moustache because that's all she can think of in a panic state.
Okay, roll me your wild magic and then roll me a deception check. I'll say with proficiency if you don't have it because you're using a moustache.
Question: Can I notice this happening?
What am I rolling again?
Specifically,
Deception
Cat
here.
trying to hide.
In this instance, Cat, you note that Cat kind of stops for a moment, carries on, and there's just a moustache on her face.
It's a 6.
Am I able to insight from that?
Go ahead,
Oh.
roll me an insight. This will be versus Cat's current deception, which is
6.
4 plus... Oh, you get your proficiency as well because you're using the moustache from Alter Self here.
Okay, so that's
21?
So
21.
it's a 9 versus 21. Cat has spotted someone who she knows.
I'm
She
going
doesn't
to.
want to be known who she is.
I'm going to then take one of my cloaks and put it over her shoulders and pull the hood over her head.
Okay.
Oh,
I will give them disadvantage on this. Insight check here. Okay, and that was a 9 on your part, Cat.
Mm-hmm.
As you otherwise approach the individual, otherwise kind of leaves out. Oh, individuals from the northern reaches. I didn't think I'd be seeing you here. This WizardCon. How may I? Can it be? Otherwise, getting a closer look at you, Cat.
No. No. Just come for some wood. Just a wood guy.
Is this some kind of joke for when I pranked you?
I don't know. Do you have good wood? Where is your wood?
roll me an intimidation check, and Cat, roll me a performance check with disadvantage.
Oh, that's quite
You know
sad.
what? I'm gonna make it a flat performance check here because you did the voice.
That's an 11 altogether.
Okay.
It's,
Very low on the
performance.
intimidation factor for me.
Cat is not very good
Have you
at
noticed that
performing.
I'm just shit at intimidation despite all evidence to the contrary?
It's 14.
14. It is you, isn't it? Oh, you can take off the moustache. It was a nice try, I'll give you that.
This cat just drops it. Okay.
There's a moment of thought for him. Aren't you... Wait.
Shh. Just she looks at him, just square that. Shh.
Right. Does she know?
No. Look. Things have happened. I need to sort things out before I can face him. Please don't tell him if you ever see him.
Alright. How can I help you? As a former customer of mine, how can I help you? Looking at you, Cat.
I'm looking for... Well, I have a list, and I'll just show my list. There's 1,000 GP of mahogany wood. I need some fur or leather of tier 4 or around tier 4. I need a
What's
chest.
tier 4?
He'll understand.
It's the enchanting type.
Yes.
The enchanting type.
I need a yellow crystal. Yes, he has one. Around 500 GP. I need potentially 2 alchemy plants, but I don't know if he'll have them. And a golden inlay vial, which he probably also doesn't have. But what he has got, I'm willing to listen to.
Well, the mahogany I have, and you're looking for a staff, by the looks of it,
Mm-hmm.
from your designs.
Yes.
Okay. He otherwise kind of rummages through one of the boxes and pulls out what looks to be a rather nice, good quality and good length for your size anyway, a piece of mahogany that has been otherwise sanded down to a good length, and you whittle it further into the shape that you feel comfortable with. But so it will require a little bit of work or any carving or anything going on. But this one should fit your purposes. As you mentioned, it is more of a tier 5 ingredient for the wand crafting, or in this case, focus crafting. If you're transitioning over to staves. But this one should serve your purpose. 1,000 gold for this one, as you rightly have written down. As for the what was it? It was a fur or feather?
Leather.
Fur or leather.
That's for the wrap.
Yes, my mistake. Well, fur-wise, of tier 4, was it?
Mm-hmm. Or 3.
Well,
I mean, whatever you've got available.
Well, if you're looking for cheaper, we do have tier 3s in stock. We have Dire Bear, we have Rock Dog. If you're looking for a higher quality, we have Orngel fur. We have Manticore and Chimera fur as well. And leather-wise, we unfortunately only have Giant Crocodile and Manticore still in stock.
What are the colour of them furs? The 3 top ones.
Orngel is a kind of a dark blackish fur. You haven't experienced Orngels all that much, but you know that they're beasts of burden that are used around the Alliance. Manticore fur is a dark kind of black and red speckling, and Chimera fur tends to be kind of a lighter brown coloration. Leathers wise, Giant Crocodile is kind of this nice dark, kind of smooth but slightly bumpy leather, and Manticore leather is similar to what you would usually expect, but it has kind of specks of red mixed into the leather itself.
I'll go with the Manticore fur.
Manticore fur. That would otherwise pulls out a small roll, enough of it to be like a good, I guess it would be tang on the stave. That'll be 450 for that roll of it. And it was a crystal, you said?
Yes,
gemstone?
a yellow gemstone.
Yellow gemstone.
Needs to be about 500 GP.
Topaz, citrine, yellow quartz.
What kind of effect are you looking for here? Supportive, defensive, utilitarian, offensive magic?
Okay.
Each stone has its own application.
Okay, so I've come up with a theory. I need to make the spell yet, but I'm going to be summoning elementals long term. This one is going to potentially be for attacking.
Okay. In which case, you will want an offensive one.
Okay.
In which case, I would recommend... It's not full yellow, but Imperial Topaz could function for this. It would be of a high enough quality to be able to match what you're trying to achieve. Otherwise, a more orangish tone would be amber.
I'll go for the Imperial Topaz. I like the colour of it.
There you go. Are you looking for a tier 4 cut or a tier 3?
This one just needs to be the GP value, doesn't it? So I'll go with tier 3.
Okay. So tier 3 would be 150 GP's worth.
Okay, what's
you need
tier
it to be
4?
500.
I need it 500,
That'd
yeah.
be tier 4.
Okay.
Yeah, tier 4. Tier 4 will be the closest one, so you need a tier 4 one.
Right, yeah.
And that should do that. You mentioned herbs as well.
I need 2 alchemy plants.
2 alchemical plants. I would recommend heading down the way, turn left back into the square. Straight across the way, you will find a individual selling alchemical ingredients. As for the components, you can find them in the main plaza and square themselves. They are running a small cart, and they otherwise work on supplying and stocking components for spells.
Okay.
There are 3 of them scattered throughout, but the one I'd recommend is in the main area. They go by the name of Thalor Haag. They're a goods trader. I've received a lot of my goods from them.
Okay. Well,
And a general message, as I was told to say this, should it come up, be careful. I won't tell him that I've told you, though. Is that fair?
okay. So he knows I'm around?
He suspects.
Okay.
Don't worry him too long. It's been nearly a year.
Sort of like tears kind of well up a little bit. I know. Okay.
He otherwise pulls a bit of your mustache chaff and wipes away the tears.
Okay. Well, thank you. It was nice seeing you, and
Hmm.
thank you for telling me. Nice
That's
to
quite
know
all
I'm
right.
not alone.
As for you, sir, are you after anything for a focus? Are you the magical type?
I'm much more on the physical side of things. However, I am a worksman, a crafter, and I can certainly assist with the actual creation of items, if not their magical side. I don't suppose you do evaluations of esoteric material.
In what capacity? Are we looking at wood, stones, gemstones, animal parts? I don't tend to buy materials when I'm on
I'm
con,
more
but-
looking for your professional opinion. Perhaps I'm also looking to purchase a few bits and pieces, but the first thing I want to see is what you think of this. I'm going to pull out the ancient giant tooth.
Okay, this is going to be in her view. He is going to make a roll to try and see exactly what this is. Okay, with his expertise, that is a 21.
That's pretty
So-
decent.
He's otherwise going to look at this and go, "That's a good find."
I'm aware.
I'll
But
say this. If you're looking to turn this into a weapon, it won't serve much purpose. It'll be pretty weak, but if you're looking to enchant it, it may end up being quite valuable. For reference, for you here, Cat, this is a tier 7 quality bone.
oh,
Oh.
This, on its own, as this unrefined material, this would probably be in the ballpark of around 4,000 gold, given the amount of it here. But if you were to refine this, I could see this potentially being worth a bit more. Refining it would simply be taking off the crust layers on the exterior and putting it into finer form that could be sold on. You could get probably 4 or 5 tier 6s out of this, which would get you about 6,000 gold overall. Other to 12,000 gold. Otherwise, you could make a very fashionable wand and very much a staff out of this bone. This would be very powerful. In terms of natural attunement, bone tends to be tied to the water and dark elements. So that may come in handy for you. I will say it's higher than any stock of chitin or bone that I have in stock here. So that is certainly a valuable find.
What
But
do you
as a
think?
But
After you.
as a material, it's only 4,000 or so, despite the amount you have.
You said a staff or wand would probably be one of the best uses for it.
You could probably make 3 or 4 wands out of something this size, but making a staff, you could probably make 1 or 2 at most.
What about one really high quality staff?
The quality of the staff would be based on the enchantment and the other ingredients you use. This is simply the base that you would use. You couldn't spend more of the material to make a higher quality wand. You could make a bigger one, or a bigger staff, but that would simply be just for vanity.
Understood. What about what wood would you suggest for the rest of the staff, or other materials would you suggest for the staff?
Made out of the bone?
Yes, if this was the main part of it? Is there any other additional materials?
For making any focus, you would need the main core of the or the main base of the weapon, which typically is made of wood or stone, mostly, or metal, but can include bone in that. Then you would need a core, which is usually an essence material that provides an elemental alignment or attachment. This is usually acquired by something, say, like, for example, a gemstone or crystal that applies a bonus effect, or a material such as a feather or scale that can be burned into being used into the crafting of it. And then finally you would need a handle or tang in order to hold onto it with a grip that would provide a bonus for the elemental alignment if it matches that of the core. Given that, you'd probably want either another bone ingredient, or I would recommend thread. I have some giant spider thread. Isn't very high quality, but I have plenty of it. But skewer silk is probably what you'd want to go for.
Skewer silk.
Pulls out a spool of what looks to be kind of this dark, metallic-y red spool of thread. The spool itself, there isn't much of it here, but it is 2,000 gold, but it would provide a very strong connection with the dark element. Alternatively, a leather would provide a bonus to your primary element of water, in which case I would recommend Hydra leather.
Do you have any Hydra leather by any chance?
I do. I have a small portion of most things, otherwise I wouldn't recommend them, but that is only 1,000 for the Hydra leather, as it is of a lower quality than the skewer silk.
What would you prefer, Cat?
I mean, I've got the one that I'm planning on making at the moment already. I haven't thought of another second staff, but if I was gonna go with something, I would probably go with the leather rather than the silk.
He puts up otherwise a finger. You could, depending on the nature of what you're trying to achieve, you could use the bone as your focus material instead, and imbue its essence into it.
Okay.
It would be of the water and dark alignment, but if that's either of your natural elements, then you would be able to use it quite happily. And that would be a tier 7 ingredient for this.
I believe mine is dark earth, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So you'd be able to use this in function with as an essence to your staff, which would bump it up to a tier 7 focus.
Okay.
And you said that wouldn't use the entirety of the tooth. There would still be some left over?
No, it would use most of it as a form of shaving. So you could probably get it's about the equivalent of one rod/staff, the amount of shavings you'd get. So you'd probably end up with about one possible carved staff or 2 wands if you wanted to take more from the bone, or sew it on.
Okay.
Understood. I'm thinking if we use the tooth as the core, that we've already got it, and I can't make as good a use of it as you probably can. If there's anything remaining from the tooth, I was thinking of having. Are you familiar with the use of bone in forging of steel?
Is this asking me?
Yes, this is asking you, Chris.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
So essentially, the Vikings had a belief that by stoking the coals of a fire with bone and mixing the bone ash and dust into the iron that they used, they would imbue it with the spirit of the creature, which is very fitting for my barbarian route, and arguably my runic route. And the thing is, this actually did work to make their weapons stronger because it increased the carbon content. I'm wondering if with remaining parts of the tooth, I could perhaps try and forge that into a weapon at some point.
Yeah, that would be a viable thing.
Yeah, I thought that might be a fun.
But it would be possible. Yeah.
Well, I have blacksmithing proficiency now. I probably would like someone who's much better at it than me to do it, but I can at least assist. So I thought that might be a very fitting way of working with this.
Yeah, you can use some of it for the core, and then the rest of it for your own smithing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you both enjoy the rest of your day here. Well, the rest of your days over the course of the con. But yes, take care of yourself.
I will do. I will do. You too.
Thank you kindly.
And thank you for
Hmm.
that.
That's all right.
I will get back
I-
to him soon.
I
The offer
actually
still stands.
I actually did have a few other bits and pieces if you wanted to give them a look over.
Sure. What have you got?
I pull out the jar of weird misty liquid from the.
He has no idea.
That's fair. I now pull out the good suck leaf.
He doesn't know anything about that.
That's
Doesn't
fair
get
enough.
Foliage.
That's fair. I'm not going to go into it, but essentially it sucks up magic.
Okay.
Could make a nice joke wand. Someone tries to cast with it and it does the opposite.
He just eats the spell points or the spell slot and doesn't do anything.
I like to imagine someone tries to cast a
my
cantrip with it and then they lose like 20 spell points. They're like,
Oh,
what the fuck just happened?
The worst cursed
Oh,
one.
that is horrible.
Word.
Good for a duel if you watch someone and they like to steal people's focuses. You'd be like, all right, game on.
Oh my word, that's a terrible thing. Anyway, was there anything else that you were wanting to be looked at?
I would like some wood also. What's your highest? What's your highest quality wood that you have available at this point in time?
That I have available.
Mm-hmm. Preferably under 2,000 gold.
Well, they're under 2,000 gold. For 2,000 gold exactly, we have a nice specimen of grandfather wood.
I'm not.
Otherwise,
Am I familiar with that?
you've heard of grandfather trees before. They are trees that typically live up to 500, 600 plus years, and they get their name traditionally by absorbing other trees and growing around them, and then having a widespread set of branches that basically plant more grandfather trees further afield. Most trees can become grandfather trees, but grandfather wood is known to be naturally imbued with some base magic, and is therefore highly sought after. It is a tier 6 ingredient, and therefore 2,000 gold. Otherwise, I have all manner of others. There is ancient wood, grave wood, willow, walnut, teak, sycamore, sandalwood, rosewood, purple heart, olive, oak, maple, mahogany, ironwood, hickory, grandfather, eucalyptus, elm, ebony, chestnut, cherry, camphor, bloodwood, birch, red cedar, aspen, ash, alder, acacia. That's all the hardwoods. Softwoods, cedar, cypress, fir, larch, narcol, pine, redwood, samil, spruce, and yew.
Tell me about gravewood.
He called you a softwood.
Grey.
Wait, Romulus is on this list?
Yeah, he's
What
a
was that?
softwood.
Romulus is on this list?
God, and you thought we'd just be making jokes about piss.
Nothing ever changes with my party. Gravewood is traditionally a wood or a tree type that is very well known for growing in graveyards. The wood itself naturally absorbs nutrients from the ground that is high in bodies, and is known as one of the few wood types that is self-nitrogen fixing.
Intriguing.
The wood itself ties itself to the wind element more often than not, and they tend not to bear bloom to leaves or flowers, which is otherwise unknown how they grow and spread. And that would cost you about 1,000 gold for a good-sized piece.
What do you think would best pair well with the earth element that you have in your woods?
Earth element?
Just to check, I believe if I was trying to use the good suck leaf as some sort of core for something,
Mm-hmm.
would earth be the most applicable one, or is there a more applicable one there?
I'd say Cat would know if you wanted to ask Cat this one. The question.
I will gladly ask Cat this.
Okay, I will
Arc.
look and do an Arcana check then.
Yeah, go for it.
10.
Without understanding the full properties of the leaf, the best that you could come up with might be just straight arcane element. Like, that's the only one you could think of. There are others that could potentially fit. Gel might make sense. Wind might make sense. Dark might make sense. Magic is otherwise the most prevalent and the most fitting, but it's hard to say. Arcane
Okay.
woods
Mhm.
are mahogany,
Mm-hmm.
purple heart,
Mm-hmm.
and solar wood, which is 4,000 gold.
Oof. I'd have to go to the bank for that one, and I don't want to do that. How much would a about 5 foot of mahogany be? Maybe 6. Enough for a staff or a quarter or pole arm.
Staff would be about for mahogany. You said
Mm-hmm.
would be about 1,000 gold, same as what Cat has there.
Mm. And what was the other one that wasn't solar wood?
Purple heart,
And purple heart?
about 500 gold.
I presume purple heart then is lower tier.
One lower, yeah.
Is that an actual wood that I can look up? Or it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
purple heart.
that's lovely.
I know.
Yeah, no, we're doing that. That's It's gonna be that one. I don't care about the tiers. Aesthetic.
Purple wood is called purple wood for a reason. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Purple color.
Okay, look, level with me here. If I were to pay you 1,000 gold, would you let me have it be a higher tier purple wood purely for the aesthetic?
No,
Worth a try.
that's not how it works.
Essentially, what I'm thinking here is, well, I've got a lot of ideas for things I could try and make in future with this leaf that is able to literally suck magic, making something akin to what Cat K can do with like cutting through spell work and stuff. I was wondering if that would be a possibility. Does that sound like something that might be doable?
That is a possibility, yeah. And depending on how you wanted to use it, again, the leaf can also be used as a component in enchanting, so you can make a weapon that does this in place of a focus.
Yeah.
But that would be dependent on what you want to do with it. But that would be very, very doable.
I'll take the mahogany.
Very well.
Oh, it's so painful watching the numbers go down.
I know, right?
1,000 gold on a
Yeah.
Okay.
So, mahogany, and what was that? Polearm.
So that's polearm length, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I can do my own work to make it fit exactly what I need.
Yeah. Cat, what else was it you needed? You needed a vial?
I needed the gold inlay vial.
Yeah. Okay. Heading off to the material components vendor, you otherwise come across what looks to be a crow aviar, otherwise standing behind their pipe in mouth, kind of crossed arms, quite tall and kind of puffed out chest, looking around as you approach. A young wizard, it would seem. After any particular components, I do standard component pouches. I do more specific ingredients as well, but you don't need to go too expensive if you're just learning. Just something that'll be more up your speed.
I mean, for most components, I seem to have everything, so Cheney here has that covered. But do you have a gold inlay vial?
As you mentioned, Sachenia nods and goes, right, apologies, I must have mistook you for a young wizard.
I am.
Quick learner. Yes, we do gold inlay vials. Is it for a summoning spell?
Yes, it is.
Indeed. You'll want one of these, enough room for any component that you need to fit inside for your various summonings, and durable, won't break easily.
Amazing. Excellent.
So 500 gold for that.
Okay. Can just to grab, because you didn't tell me exactly how much the last lot was from the thing. How much did I pay for the last lot of stuff?
For which stuff?
For the mahogany, for the
Mahogany was the mahogany was 1,000,
and the crystal.
The crystal was 500, the mahogany was 1,000, and the fur was manticore fur, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was 450, I think. So okay, so that's one.
Okay, I know this is me being annoying and pedantic. It's manticore, not manticore.
Manticore. Sorry. No, that's good to correct me before I keep saying manticore.
No, Manticore's right. Manticore is right. It's such a
Manticore.
tiny difference, but it's driving me crazy.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so that would come to 950, and then the 400 for that vial, wasn't it?
500, isn't it, for the spell?
Oh, I've put 4, but it could be 5.
No, you are right. 400.
Okay,
You are correct. That was my fault there.
that's cool. Okay. Right.
And with the magic items, for Herv and Vinny, were you two looking through or going to be purchasing the ones that you were recommended?
Yes.
Which one was that for you, Curve?
The
Amulet of Health?
yeah, with the heart.
So that's 2,200 gold, or 220 platinum. Yeah, I know. And Vinny?
So, how expensive was the lyre?
3,000 gold.
Ooh. And what did the quicksilver bow do exactly?
It is a +1 short bow, and you can shoot 1 arrow as a bonus action.
Ooh. Right, which of the items are attunement? Because I don't have down that the
immovable rod is not.
scimitar?
Immovable rod isn't. You were looking at for the lyre, was it?
That is attunement. It requires attunement
Lyre
by a
building
bard.
is attunement. Yep, attunement by a bard, and then the quicksilver bow isn't. Oh, is attunement. Sorry. That's one of the custom items.
Okay. Yeah, the quicksilver bow is the boots of speed are.
Boots of speed, I believe, are yes. I will double check that one though, because again, some of these I've just written down what page.
Okay.
Yeah. So
The
boots of speed are attunement.
the good skill and of items that are.
Sorry, I just realized. You can use all of the bard flourish features on any weapon.
I believe so. Yes.
Why the fuck is it called a swords bard?
Swords are fun.
The swords are what you typically flourish with. I know you can flourish with other weapons, but swords were more common. Anyway, what was the other question?
Just want to check that of the items that I already have, the Ghost Steel short sword is attunement.
Correct. Yes.
The Sundance scimitar isn't.
Correct.
Cool. So if I bought the boots of steel, boots of speed, and the...
I'll just double check on the scimitar, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Cool. Okay.
Where did you get that again?
Here. The blacksmith or trader or whatever in Braylon.
No, that'll be in here then. My apologies. Correct. Sundance isn't attunement.
Cool.
Because anybody can speak the keyword.
Yeah.
And it works on anybody.
Cool.
So if Romulus wants to, he can spend his bonus action to say the keyword and cast it from your scimitar.
So wait, what is the keyword? You must tell me.
I'll leave that up to you, Vinny.
I'll keep that one in mind, actually. So if I bought the boots, the bow, and a rod, that comes to a bit over.
The boots are 2,000, the bow
yeah.
is 650, and the immovable rod is 675.
Okay.
So that would be 33,000. Oh, no, 3,325.
A bit, yeah.
Okay. The individual in question is you authorized by the
Cool.
the Quicksilver Bow.
Yep.
If you are looking for other things that might help or a place to store it, we do also sell a Quiver of Alona, if you're interested. For 200 gold, it'll allow you to store your bow and any arrows that you might wish to use. Quiver of Alona is a very useful storing item. The Quiver of Alona allows you to do the following. The small compartment can hold up to 60 arrows or bolts. The mid-sized compartment can hold up to 18 javelins or similar items, and the longest component can hold up to 6 large objects such as bows, quarterstaffs, or spears.
Interesting.
And
It sounds like a broken record. Is that attunement?
No.
Okay, for 200 gold, I'll throw that in as well.
Yeah, so that's the Quiver of Alona.
And that total comes to 3,525. Cool.
Yep. Yeah. You know that there are other things here as well. Quite a lot of them are attunement. You see what looks to be bags of containment, which are like miniature bags of holding. You know that there will look to be kind of pearls of power for storing spell slots. There's sets of sending stones. And something that you think may interest Romulus that catches your eye is a Javelin of Lightning. There are also various gloves, wands, and a pair of rather nice-looking spectacles at the back, but they are 3,450 gold, and you hesitate at the cost. You also see a few quills of detection, which you are very familiar with, as one was used on you yesterday, and they are 2,000 gold apiece.
Why is the truth so expensive these days?
Well, you know, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, I think with that, for now, we will wrap this up. And if what I will do is I will post the full list of magical items for you to browse, and if there's anything that people would want to buy or pick up, we can do that out of session. Just let me know what you're buying, and then I can back calculate it as well and help figure out what might need to be done. Romulus, we can account for this if you're wanting to withdraw money. Just note that it will be 10 gold for every 5, if you wish to draw out all of it for 5,000 total. If you're only drawing out 500, it'll cost you 1 gold. So yeah, but I will post the list in there for people to have a look through and see what they might want to do, and if you want to borrow, share, loan, or whatever the case may be, you're welcome to do so.
I may wish to do so.
Yeah, but also keep in mind that there are other vendors around this place which sell other things. You note that there are potion vendors, drinks and food vendors. You note that there are will look to be book vendors selling all manner of books and scrolls. You see robe vendors selling all manner of robes and hats. You see, as you are wandering through, something that does catch your attention as you all kind of reconvene in the middle after your initial spreading out and then joining back together for the beginning of next session. Cat and Romulus, you note that there is a cataloger's tent.
Oh.
Not far from you, otherwise built quite high, a large oval tent with a pointed top, with thin trails of smoke rising from it. I think before we do that, we will end the session there. So, for the stream, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we look forward to seeing you next week when we come back to adventure more into WizardCon.
WizardCon.
Thank you.